Pop, pop, pop. Hey, everyone. You're about to hear Orny Adams, a brilliant comedian, and I fight about, like, truly nothing for 3 hours. Also, I'm going to be at the Oxnard Levity Live in Oxnard, California, December
8th, 9th, 10th.
8th, 9th, and 10th. And the fact that I have to say that is truly proof that you guys hate women. And that's, honestly, at this point, I don't know if I blame you. Orny Adams.
I'd like a camera there. If we could.
Really? Oh, because you want? Do you have a good
that's
side?
my angle.
That's your angle. Mm-hmm. How'd you find that out?
Years of being in front of a camera.
Are you self-conscious about your appearance?
Yes, I hate my
How
appearance.
come?
I don't
think
know
you're
why.
very handsome.
Wow. Are we rolling?
We are.
Okay. Yeah. Thank
Can
you.
you cut that?
Yeah, I noted that already.
Mark
Start
that.
over?
Mark that, please.
Start over.
Mark that, please.
But what is that? Why do you are very handsome? You must know that on some level.
No, on no level.
I'm fine with guys not knowing they're hot. I think we should keep it that way. But I'm just curious. Like every comedian has some kind of dysmorphic shit, you know?
Yeah.
Why? Where'd yours come from?
Early on, I never had any confidence in my looks. I still don't. I just, yeah.
Why?
I don't know.
I feel like you like.
I've been on a diet
I feel
since
like you
fourth
pull.
grade.
I feel like you
no,
pull.
This
I
is
feel like
not. This is not a. Hey, I can get more women if I act.
No, I
humble
feel like
about
you
my
do
looks.
fine now. I mean, you're wearing a pinky ring. You must get women. I mean, you have the confidence to wear a pinky ring, but not about your handsome face.
Yes, the pinky ring is to distract people, so they go, "Whoa, look at that fit," and then they go off the face right
They're
to
like,
the pinky ring.
for a guy with a pinky ring,
Yeah.
you are a 10.
Yeah.
What, but did you, in school, were you like bullied about your looks?
Yeah, I never.
Or is this
Nobody.
just-
You're the first woman to publicly say I'm hot.
You're very hot.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, my taste is a little off, but
I love your
in
taste.
general.
Yeah, you're hot too. Look at this. Things are
I
going
need to-
great.
no.
Mark that.
Will you just tell everyone how this experience has been so far for you coming today?
First of all, do we introduce the guest at any point, or do we just?
I'm going to do an open when you're gone because
Okay.
I don't want to deal with your fucking shit. You know what? Let's try it. Let's see how it goes.
Okay.
This comedian is one of my... Hold on. I look like a fucking rat's nest. This comedian is one of the funniest people I know. He makes me laugh kind of as much as anyone.
Oh, thanks.
And you know him from Teen Wolf on MTC. on MTV. And he's fucking brilliant. And he has a podcast called
Try that. You can read it.
Comedy Journal.
No. The top.
What's wrong with buses?
That's a Shasta. But maybe this is why the podcast
Oh, it's
isn't
called
doing
What's
that.
Wrong with Orny Adams?
Yeah, but maybe it's not doing well because they go, "What's wrong with a guy sitting on a Shasta?" Maybe that's what we should rename it.
What's wrong with animation today? What's wrong?
Yeah.
With a photo? What's wrong with just a photo of you?
I didn't realize.
I know what's wrong with Orny Adams. You put weird ads for like Malaysian Airlines as your podcast art.
I guess I paid a lot of money for this graphic, and now you've made me realize that it's ineffective.
Can you sue a graphic? Like, can I sue that?
Of course.
Are we shifting cameras already?
No, stop being. You do your job.
What's my job?
To just
sit here and be hot.
Sit here and look hot. Stop, honey, you're not.
Let's get back to this.
Your brain is too small for these big fancy machines.
Let's get back to this because Bobby Lee on my podcast declared me unfuckable.
Okay.
And I do have a pinky ring, but no, I don't.
But it's a fucking cock ring, and this is how I carry it.
I don't define.
Why did he say you're Bobby said you're unfuckable. Okay.
Because I am not.
I imagine, like, here's the thing about you. You make me laugh kind of more than fucking anyone, but I do think having sex with you would be stressful.
How so?
Like, I mean, you have been fucking on my fucking balls since the second you got here this morning.
I show up. You're in a bathrobe, from last night.
Yeah.
Some meeting you had until 3 a.m.
Yeah.
And then, did this podcast end?
No.
And then...
I just got up to check if there's food in my teeth.
And then
Did
it's just...
did this podcast end?
It's been nonstop since I got here with...
You've been nonstop.
You didn't have your coffee yet.
Yeah.
And you just said, geez, ORNY pre-coffee. This is too much.
Pre-coffee ORNY is a lot.
Yes.
Much like I bet pre-cum ORNY is a lot. So ORNY comes over and like, I am a very self-sufficient person, but I was like, I know that when ORNY comes, I'm going to come off like some infantilized, like fucking asshole. And then of course I ask a rhetorical question, which is, would you like some coffee? And no one says yes. No one's ever said yes. Like, oh, I just had it already.
Well, I looked at you and I go, we're not even close to go time. She hasn't had her coffee. She's not, I don't think she's wearing that. I think she's probably going to have to change. I've got to get a tour of the place. I got a tour of the place, which was great. Then I got an update on the ant situation. There's ants everywhere. And you're using like flaxseed or like organics to kill. You're like, lavender. Ants don't like lavender. I go, this isn't going to work. Get the little traps. Let's get the traps out. Let's do this right. Then the coffee maker doesn't work because that outlet doesn't work. So Whitney's over and over pressing the button, like this, nonstop, trying this, trying that.
I'm just waiting for you to come help.
Yeah,
it took you so long.
Well, I wanted you to, have your opportunity to figure it out. So then
you
I do this.
cannot read social cues. I feel like it would be very hard to have an orgasm in front of you.
And your dog is licking my genitals as this is going on. So then I go up and I do this. Very simple. I unplug it from that outlet. I put it into this outlet. Now the thing starts. Well, I don't know what you did to it. You must have turned the setting for the grind because it's grinding the beans at exactly 50%. So it's just in half. So we're going to have the worst watery coffee ever. Okay?
It was, the grinds came out in chunks of potpourri. It was like shavings that were coiled.
Yeah, it was.
It was
like, you ever take a crayon and you it's like crayon shavings.
No, it's like when people shave soap, to the soothing, the TikToks.
I had never seen coffee grinds look like that before, ever. Ever.
The grinds were bigger than the beans.
Yeah.
We don't know what happened, but here's the thing. This is such a fucking guy thing, I think. Come for me, Reddit. Which is why add a step? You can buy pre-ground coffee. Who buys the beans and then fucking men? You guys have to turn everything into a fucking anything that's you need something that just machines at all times, even if they're totally unnecessary. It's like do you ride a horse to work? Why are we grinding our own coffee?
Okay, you want me to be honest?
Yeah.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
We got everything we needed.
It's unnecessary.
Wild. Why?
These people, these coffee pundits, these people that have taken something very simple.
Nerds, just go back to drinking. Relapse.
Have you ever, what happened at the coffee section in the supermarket is now an entire aisle. Okay, I have to spend all day deciding what territory I want my beans from, what darkness. It's like have a sip. Listen.
Hold on. Wait, this is from Afghanistan.
Yeah.
I don't know a ton about Afghani coffee.
Didn't know they were known for their coffee.
Do I want Afghanistan coffee for $4? Do I want coffee from Venice, California for $62? Or do I want Malaysian? It's so true. I'm like, what country? What country is the poorest? It probably has the best coffee. That's what you do. You start going okay, these are all third world country coffees. That's probably better than Sonoma County, right?
I guess, but here's the thing. It's too much to think about. That's why we're losing our minds. Coffee has one purpose. Wake you up. Get you ready for the day.
It's
not about enjoying it. Now you gave me this. I wouldn't. I would not.
I know. I wanted that Frappuccino, but
you can have it in a minute. I'm almost done with it.
Okay, but here's the thing. It's also the coffees that it's makes you fucking xenophobic and racist because I'm okay, I'm gonna get this Malaysian coffee, great, or this whatever, and then you have it. You're this is bad. Fuck that place. Fuck those people. Your morning coffee should not be associated with a country that you're already not sure about. Do you know what I mean? Like it pushes me over the edge.
I guess I don't put that much. Once I get it, that's it. I put it into a canister, an anonymous canister.
Anonymous.
Yes, and I just take the scoops, 4.5 scoops, and then always a little extra for good luck. My grandmother would always say a little bissel for good luck, and I do that, and I think of my grandmother every day, and I have my coffee. And I'm fine.
But here's the problem.
I'm fine. There's no grind. Who wants to grind?
But here's the thing. Before you've had your coffee, so the first sound you hear in the morning is before you've had your coffee.
And now your dogs think we're under attack. So they start charging. That's
true.
And you're like, are you afraid of dogs? Your dogs look like they can kick my ass.
Yes, it's true.
Okay?
Well, I have a Rhodesian Ridgeback who they were raised to fight lions. They're from Rhodesia.
You could have a wiener
dog.
You could have a wiener dog, and it's gonna kick my ass.
But see, don't do. That's what you're doing. That's what's making you not hot.
I just got downgraded?
No, but I am scared of dogs. No, you're not.
Those dogs are pretty. This is what happens.
You can't be scared of dogs.
I'm not scared of dogs, but I don't like when they jump on you. Like I'll go to
Then
people.
be the alpha and be like, hey, don't.
Okay, bring the dog in, and I'll yell at the dog. Where's the dog?
I just mean you can't be like, oh no, it isn't a puppy's gonna die. Like
Yeah, but then I'm known as the guy that goes to people's houses and yells at their pets.
Well, don't do it like you would talk to me. Do it the way you talk to a dog.
I don't like when I go to somebody's house and they incorporate me into the dog training. So I walk into the house and the dog.
It's the best. Hey, just don't look at him. Just don't look at him. Just don't look at him.
Yeah.
Don't look at him.
No, they go, Fido down. Fight. No jumping, Fido. Fight. What did
and
the
then they
trainer
go, don't make
say?
eye contact. Just keep walking. You're like, what? This isn't. Put it in a fucking crate.
Fido's paws are on my chest. Fido is thrusting into my genitalia.
Because you are fuckable.
That's right. The dogs I am. Mm-hmm. And the Fido. Fight. And they go. I'm sorry, Orny. He's being trained not to jump. Well, how about this? Until he's fully trained, let's keep him in another room.
You got to stop dating girls with studio apartments. Okay.
It makes me look more successful.
It's like when guys shave their pubes so their dick looks bigger.
Are they doing that?
Yeah. Or like you, what's the other one? There's a couple like optical illusion tricks that I'm obsessed with. I remember when this is genuinely how my brain works. And I remember, have you ever pitched something to someone that you weren't joking and they thought you were? That's how bad your idea was.
Yeah.
So Chuck Sklar, brilliant writer, works with Chris Rock a lot. He was on Everyone Hates Chris. Remember that show, Everyone Hates Chris? It was about him as a kid. And the kids started growing up, so they couldn't make the show anymore because all of a sudden the kid's 12. And he was like, yeah, so we can't make the show anymore. And I was like, oh, no, yes, you can. Just make a set where all the furniture's really big.
It's not a bad way to save the show.
No, just make all the mugs really, like everything should just be bigger so they look smaller. And he started dying laughing. And I was like, I guess that's the end of my producing career because I thought that was a great idea.
Yeah, why not? I like it.
So let me ask you something. I guess I just feel like to go on a date with you, I feel like would be very stressful because you're like me where everything that bothers no one bothers you and everything that bothers everyone, we don't care.
Give an example.
Well, I just mean I can picture. Okay, so if you're gonna take a girl on a date,
because I'm just thinking, why don't we try the date and let's just see? I mean, I don't know. Yeah,
let's just film
why do we
it.
have to fantasize about what it would be like?
No, I'm just trying to get to the bottom of this. You saying you're unfuckable thing.
I didn't say that. Bobby Lee said that.
But you're saying it to me, so you have some.
Because I'm just saying it's interesting that your opinion, which matters a lot more to me.
Why does Bobby's count more than mine?
It doesn't. I'm just saying yours counts a lot more.
It should.
Yes.
Men are mean. I'm now realizing because that's like in comedy. I feel like women are so mean to women, and it's hard. But you guys are fucking.
Here's one of my obstacles with dating. Okay, so I'll meet a woman.
Okay, where?
Anywhere. Usually it has to be an extension of me being on stage. Because on stage, I'm an 8. Off stage, I'm a 6. Okay, so when I'm on stage, right, I got it going on. These women, but they all say the same thing.
What?
You meet a lot of women. I'm going to be the one that's going to not fall for you right away. So the perception is your perception.
Well, that's
let me ask you a question, Whitney. You've known me. How long have you known me?
I've known of you for maybe 18 years or something. When did we do Montreal together that time? The time we first met in person. I think we might have met in New York before. So let me just tell you the story about Orny Adams because I know you're going to want me to fucking tell it. Because if ever you give a compliment to a man, then you have to, every time you see him, he's like, tell the story. So.
I love that. It's so true. That is true.
I tell the story a lot.
Tell the story. Tell the
a
story.
lot. Here's the thing about ORNY.
Whitney, tell the story. Tell the story about Montreal. Yeah, I got that
Which
story.
is really quick. ORNY is one of those comics. Most comics, I'm gonna be straight up. Other comics go, I don't get it. Like, it's not that funny. Like, that's how. Even if we like them, you know, I don't do that.
You're saying comics are saying that about me?
No. Shut your
God.
whore mouth. So
you think
this is the energy you needed around my dog.
Okay, let me take the pinky ring. I think my hotness is distracting you from the story. So let me put the pinky ring over there, and then you can
And
do
so you do not. I hope you're not giving bitches tetanus in their pussy from that pinky ring.
I hope not.
So we're in Montreal. This is a gala that's Steve Martin is hosting. So at Montreal Just for Laughs, they have these big galas. And it's a really big, 10 years ago, it was like the biggest deal. You know, it's like the Oscars of comedy or something. It's like Montreal Comedy Festival. I personally don't feel the need to fly 6 hours to bomb for my own agents. So I don't love doing these shows. I don't know why we're all going to a country where no one speaks English to do comedy for them.
They do. In Canada, they have started to incorporate more English into the...
Fine.
Yeah.
Let's wait till it's fully incorporated.
But part of what made this so exciting was Steve Martin doesn't do live shows.
That's right.
So we're going to see... This would be like if Eddie Murphy was hosting a gala. Like, when's the last time we saw Eddie do stand-up? So this was really kind of cool.
That's a good point. People have season tickets to these opera houses and theaters, right? And it's half comedy fans and half people that like will go to whatever's there, the opera, the ballet, the whatever. When I tell you every comedian bombed in a way that was like confusing, even like no joke, we're like, is the mic work? Just like we literally were saying, is this thing on? Bombing our dicks off. ORNY is last, okay? And I come off, someone else goes on, bombs, and then you're about to go on, and we're like, good luck, buddy. Like, you know, ORNY is already kind of on the edge. This is going to push him over the edge, you know? ORNY goes on stage, immediately starts killing in a way that is wild. Like, it actually changed my life because I was like, oh, it's never the audience's fault. It's never the audience's fault. And because you just went up, it was like that. We were all gathering around to watch you bomb and like flip out on the audience. You're like, dude, ORNY is not gonna handle this well. Like,
yeah, because I would flip out.
Yeah,
I would break that wall. I'd leave the stage. I'd point at people. I'd yell at them.
We're about to watch ORNY Adams have like an epic meltdown. Like,
that'd be cool.
I was like, this is gonna be so fun. So we're all like watching, and we're like, we can't wait to see ORNY bomb. So we feel good about our bombs, and like this will be so fun to watch. And you just started killing. We were doing the bit about the customer service in India.
Me calling us calling third world countries
yes.
with our problems, like it's so obnoxious, right? I mean, it's horrible,
no,
right?
It's not.
Okay, it's great.
It's
great.
You can still do it. Yes, I was like about how like we're calling India to be like, my 5 computers, the Wi-Fi's not connecting.
Yeah,
Just like,
it's so insensitive, and we're just like,
it's taking me 30 seconds to load a video. Like, can you guys please fix that?
Do you think you can get out of the river that you're washing yourself in, and then drinking the water from later? Do you think you could? I think my fridge is it's not working. What's the warrant? You know, it was like that.
All the food in my fridge is going bad. Can you help me?
Yeah. Isn't it wild when you can't even remember what used to be like one of your favorite bits?
It's weird.
Yeah,
it's really weird.
Here's the thing that I remember, and Dane Cook was on that show too. And here's the thing that I remember.
Oh wow.
I remember this. Don't address Steve. Don't go, hey, thank you, Steve. You know, don't look at Steve. Not that he said that, but like, because they may take the set and isolate it and then put it like on another gala, like the so-and-so, whoever.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, they could also just cut out you saying thanks, Steve.
Yeah, that's what I said. So I go, this is once in a lifetime. And I felt like I had a good set. I really did. And I said, before I left, I said, can I shake your hand? And he walked across the stage and he started bowing to me.
Oh,
Steve Martin. And I have this on tape.
He was falling, but whatever.
Yeah, and then I bowed to him.
Literally, like, you are, I mean, there's only a couple comedians that when other comedians talk about you when you're not around, everyone's like, he's fucking funny as shit.
Oh, wow.
Like, no one says you're not. Like, no one.
Not one.
Don't fight with me about this.
Why not? I mean,
I'm right.
I'm okay. I love it. I think that's great because I have deep insecurities about how the comedy community feels about me.
Yeah, I don't. I'm universally beloved.
Well, listen. I love you. I think you're great, I love our friendship, and I love that how it's evolved, and how it went from you not returning my text messages.
Are we friends?
Yes, we're friends for sure. For sure.
Okay.
Any woman that says, come on in a robe, brings me right up to her bedroom and says, this is the best view. I go, that's I.
I am a sexual predator, but okay. In 10 years, people would be like, shit, like, it was like Harvey Weinstein. It was like right open secret. Whitney was just in robes, bringing men to her home and being like, you need to be able to fuck me. You're fuckable. Let's go.
I go, I think I'm being taken advantage of by somebody more powerful in show business, and it's not that bad. It's not that bad.
So
not to diminish what has happened to other people. Disclaimer. I understand.
Some people did get hugged too long, and I won't stand for it.
Let's get back to Montreal for a second, because I think it's fascinating. Do you still believe there's no such thing as a bad audience?
I think it is a comedian's job and to always figure it out.
I agree.
There's no audience you cannot crack. And when you go like, you didn't laugh at my first joke, and you did that.
I was at the
It's your job to it's your job to figure out what will make them laugh. It is if you turn on them and are like, fuck you, then you fuck them. You're like, no one comes to a comedy show to not laugh.
Right.
They're on your side.
All right, I'm going to tell you something. If you're a young comic and you're watching, or you're just a comedian in general, what you just said is absolutely true. And that's the greatest advice that you can give somebody. You have to crack it. Every audience has a code.
Radical accountability.
Yes. So Saturday night, I was at the Improv. Comic after comic went on and just did not do well. To the point where, like, comics that usually, like, kill were coming off stage deflated. And I went up there and I just said, listen, every comic thinks you suck.
Yeah.
They think you suck, okay? And you don't. You guys are great. The last guy, he's retired. He's out of the business. That's what you did to him. The guy before him, there was a guy who was talking about a terrible disease. I don't want to say which one. I said, he walked off stage and he said, that is now not the lowest point of my life. Performing in front of that audience is. And I just kept going. And then they loved me and they started applauding and applauding. And it was like, and even you and I, like that night that we went up on stage together, we created a moment. We created something that gives them something to talk about, because they can see Whitney Cummings any night, or, many nights doing comedy and me doing comedy, but to see us together. And the other thing is, when you watch it on YouTube, if you saw these clips of us, you would think, oh, this is a put on.
And they'll come out soon. It's basically, I came off stage. I left my phone on stage because I'm physically incapable of walking out of a space without leaving half of the things I came in with. And then I was like, when he was on stage, I was like, oh my God, my phone's up there with him. I'm about to get fucking destroyed.
Well, it drives me nuts. When I go up on stage and there's like somebody's old drink, take your drink, clear your table. Like there's stuff on the stage. I want a zen, peaceful stage. Starting
When
over.
I think ORNY Adams, I think zen, peaceful.
What it really turned into, which is really interesting and cool, was, unbeknownst to you, or perhaps to you, there was underlying tension in our newfound friendship, because we had exchanged numbers, and I said, hey, I'd love to, have you on my podcast or have you jump up and do yours.
You were serving me a jury duty summons.
Basically, yeah. I was like, you know what Whitney Cummings needs? Another to-do. She needs another to-do.
I know people are like, I know you're busy. I know you have a lot going on, but like, can you drive to Thousand Oaks for 6.5 hours for free? I'm like,
are you that busy? Because people think I'm really that busy, and I'm not.
They think you are?
Yeah, they go, oh, how do you have time? I'm like, I'm sitting around watching 90 Day Fiance.
Everyone is so stressed out and overwhelmed because they only have 2 hours of clarity a day. I'm like, just don't do edibles during the week. See how much you get done.
It comes back to what we were talking about before. Too many choices, like with the coffee. Coffee has one purpose. You want caffeine, you want to get the buzz, you got to start the day. You got to confront this crappy world, okay? Like, you ever see the old movies? The old movies are like, you walk into the office and you go, hey, can I get you a drink? And there's that one decanter and they pour the drink and the person drinks it because the objective is to get the buzz, to relax. Yeah. But nowadays, we're like, oh, what is that? It's bourbon. What kind of bourbon? What year is it? Do you have vodka? Do you have vodka on
is
the
it
rocks?
Gluten-free?
Do you have rocks? Yeah. Do you have and a twist? Can I get a twist? What shape is your ice? I've had women comment on the shape of my ice cubes in my house, okay? That's where we're at. It's like, shut up, take the drink, and drink. We're not
And
here.
you shut up and face your camera.
You don't have to enjoy You don't have to enjoy every sip of every beverage. The objective of the drink is get a buzz, and then we open up and we have a good night together.
But I need a jalapeno and a daffodil.
They need
in
daffodils. They need the lavender bush coming out of it. They need you just go.
I want to get drunk, but I also want to feel like I just gagged on a farmer's market.
Sorry, this isn't a craft cocktails bar.
But so tell me,
I have round ice cubes.
You're
which
like,
are the hardest
I have a shot of vodka with a roofie in it. Just fucking drink it.
Yeah, we're here to get drunk.
So okay,
but in the movies, that's it.
Yeah,
I want that.
So the last person, what's the longest relationship you were in?
Years. I'm a commitment guy, so
I cannot picture it.
That someone would put up with me?
No, that someone would not take it personally.
What?
Like that someone's not, you and I both can't be with people that are sensitive.
No, because I say things that are wrong all the time, unbeknownst. Like I'm not being malicious, but I'm just, I have
a hot take.
Mm-hmm. Is this a segment you do, hot takes? There's a graphic on the screen right now that says hot takes. What?
So I will say something and then decide if I believe it. Like that. Like I'm just want to get granular about so what is the point of being alive if everyone agrees on everything all the time and doesn't say anything wrong? Otherwise, we're just in a huddle.
Right.
Otherwise, we're just like, yeah, you like that movie? Love that movie. Great. I love it. Then what? The appetizer hasn't even come. Like, we have taken away well, maybe it could be this. Oh, that's interesting. And then I'm going to agree with you in 3 minutes.
Sometimes you're on the fence, so you say it and you want to hear the other person convince you out of it. Because I'm malleable. I'll change. You can change my opinions.
Or I might be 80% right. I want to know,
Right.
So I think that this or this, but great. That's a good point. Okay, now how am I supposed to know anything if I don't say the wrong thing? I say something and then I'll decide if it's true or not.
Well, I have two thoughts, and we'll start with the first thought that I have. It's very important what you're talking about, discourse, because nowadays there's no discourse. It's straight to cancel.
Yeah.
And it's okay
can I say something?
It's okay. It's okay to be wrong, and it's okay to be convinced that you're wrong and say, you know what? Now that I've talked to a few people,
I'd rather be wrong than pretend I'm right.
And I'd rather be interesting. And that's the most important thing.
That's our job as comedians. Our job is not to be right. It's not to be loved. It is to we're the court jesters. And, someone was talking about this the other day, that the role of the court jester, the role of that in, 16, 17, 1800s with royalty, it was to make sure that the royalty still had a sense of humor about themselves. Mm-hmm. Because if you don't laugh, something's up with you.
Right.
It was literally to make sure.
No, I get that.
It was to make sure that the leaders were still sane and weren't egomaniacal.
Do you ever do those corporate gigs?
Yeah, a lot.
I do those corporate gigs, and you roast the CEO.
Yes.
And the CEO knows, they'll tell you what to make fun of. They love it because the peasants, give the crumbs to the peasants, let them laugh. They all joke that Bob's on the boat every weekend. It's I can't believe Bob's here for the event and he's not out on the boat. And
I did this corporate event for this company called Lion Tree. It's amazing.
I'd like to do it next year.
It was everyone. It was every head of every TV network, head of Discovery Plus, head of the founder of
Discovery Plus was there? I gotta do this. Really?
It was every...
Was the luggage channel
No, but
there?
it was the most powerful people in the world are right there. And I was in a lot
was
of...
Was WeTV there? Was Whitney, this is a huge gig for me. What else was... What... Was OnlyFans TV there?
The head of Tubi.
The
head of Roku. The head of Quibi was there. Jeffrey Katzenberg was there.
Quibi was there.
Correct. Jeffrey Katzenberg was there.
MySpace TV?
And
Was MySpace TV there? Oh my! How Alta Vista Video was that there? Was AOL TV?
GeoCities has a streaming service.
Oh my God! Really?
SBC Global was there. Pinterest, all of them.
Oh my God! I gotta get this. This would be such a big opportunity if I could be in front of all these moguls. This would be amazing. It would change my career. Who else was there?
Here's the thing about you that kills me.
Who else was?
Is that when because you're like, I think you're gonna be like, you're like our Rodney Dangerfield, like in terms of you're gonna get so famous and so successful, and you're gonna fucking blow your brains out because it's like you love shitting on your own career, which is like. It's the funniest thing ever, but you're gonna get really successful, and then you're gonna seem like a bully.
I wouldn't know.
You're in the sweet spot right now where you can do that, and you're not an asshole.
I wouldn't know what to. If everybody liked me or like I had I wouldn't know what to do. I wouldn't.
I'm worried for you.
Yeah, I would not know what to, because I've been the underdog my whole life.
Yeah.
High school, like I was like tangentially in the cool group, but I wasn't.
Sure.
You know, Frank Dettori had a party.
Frank Dettori, I love high school names, man. They're always wild.
I have been trying to figure out where this guy is because this guy lived, his house backed into my house, and he had a party.
Where'd you grow up?
Lexington, Massachusetts. He had a party, and the guest list was limited to, because he couldn't have everybody, right? It was limited to.
How long ago was this?
This is high school, like junior year.
Okay.
Listen, first of all, Frank Dettori, this guy came out of nowhere. He was from Guam, okay? All of a sudden, he's the cool kid. I'd put in like 10 solid years with this group of people to be the cool kid. Frank comes out of nowhere, swoops in. All of a sudden, people are like, Frank's cool. He's exotic. He's from Guam. This is before Google. Nobody even knew what Guam was, okay? Turns out Guam's not that sexy, but Frank was cool. Frank decides to have a party, okay? The guest list, which is limited, he told me, apparently included everybody in the school except me. Okay, so it was the entire school and probably people from the schools in, adjacent towns, minus me. And my house was right there. And this is how pathetic I was. I said, Frank, if somebody doesn't show up, can I? Stop, it gets worse. Now the producer's laughing. It gets worse. I said Frank, because he lived in an area, this is before MapQuest, and by the way, MapQuest TV was at that convention too. This is before MapQuest or Siri or whatever, Apple Maps. It was a weird turn into his street, and I lived on the main street. So I said, Frank, what if I directed traffic, right? And then I came into the park. This is how pathetic I was, okay? And you wonder why. I'm curious if people like me. Now, Frank has disappeared. He's like a ghost. I can't find him anywhere. But I never went.
You did?
I never went to. First of all, I'd show him my set at Just for Laughs Montreal with Steve Martin. That's what I'd show him.
It is wild how much of a grip, like, one high school trauma can do to the rest of your life.
There was one girl.
But it started way before that, by the way.
There was one girl.
Good news and bad news.
Yeah. There was one girl, and I don't want to say her name, but I remember where we were because it was the exact same classroom I was in. It was like 8th grade.
I love high school names.
I can't
This is how you find the people you're looking for. You talk about them on a podcast, and they'll reach out to you.
But her name was like Jeannie. Listen, what happened? It was tragic.
I don't want to say her name. What's her name? I don't know.
It was tragic. She was sitting mid-room. Okay, I was behind her.
Mid-room. I love your accent.
Yeah. And the way I say pillow. You ever see when I'm on stage, I go pillow, and people correct me? Like, I didn't know we're correcting people. We're pillow shaming, the way people say pillow. Anyway, this was tragic, okay? She was already too tall for her age, okay?
That was me.
And sort of picked on, and I felt bad for her. But one day in social studies class, she sneezed mid-classroom. So she's sitting a few chairs back. I'm behind her because I was cool enough to be behind some people in the classroom. I wasn't back row cool. Anyway, she sneezed.
I literally have never thought about that.
She sneezed.
What row you sit in is basically how cool you are.
Well, I mean, the dorks are up front.
I've never thought
the
that was
dorks,
me.
the legit nerds. And by the way, I grew up when there were real nerds. Real nerds. Like, they didn't want to be nerds. But they couldn't.
Like headgear motherfuckers,
That's
dude.
right. And like pocket protector type people. Real nerd.
Braces like fucking train tracks.
Not this fake Silver Lake put on, okay?
Acne that was like bleeding.
Just like incredible losers. and by the way, they're in style now, so they're winning. And they started
run Los Feliz.
Yeah, they started Facebook and Google.
They started running Hollywood.
Yeah, you know how they got back at us? Algorithms. They started algorithms to screw with people like me. So anyway, she sneezed, Christina. She sneezed. I don't want to say her name. Christina. She sneezed.
You don't know it.
And
Admit you don't know it.
A loogie came out of her mouth, and it was going like this. And the whole class was like slow motion.
Ugh.
And it hit the board. The teacher is to the left writing. Loogie on the board.
No way.
Teacher pretends that
How
doesn't
small-
see.
Did you go to school in a tiny wooden schoolhouse?
No, this was Louisa May Alcott. I went to school with
Did you
her.
go to school in the Crucible?
Yeah, it was the Crucible.
Was it the Crucible Church?
Yeah, I went to I was part of the what do they call the people that make the silverware? Those people.
Amish.
No, not the Amish. They don't make silverware.
What do they make?
They make dressers and stuff like that.
Who makes the silverware?
The Onides or something? Onida? I don't know. Oneida, but who's the group?
Shakers.
Shakers.
How does Pat knows everything?
Quakers and Shakers.
First of all, Pat doesn't know everything. Pat's done nothing for an hour. We've been thinking nonstop. If I was doing nothing like Pat's over there, on his dating app or something. And the Quaker, the Shakers.
He thought he must be at Ashley Madison because he's married with 2 kids.
Oh, is he?
Is Ashley Madison still around? Remember, it was a dating site for married people.
Ashley Madison TV. I have a deal coming up with them that I got. I was at that convention that you were performing at. So
I didn't even get to say my roast joke, but we'll do it after.
we're gonna get to that. The loogie, she never lived that down to this day.
You don't. Her life's over. She should have just
Done. That was junior high.
Oh,
so she's
no.
still. Yeah. So I remember the night of Frank Dettori's party. We were spooning.
You need to check on her.
We were spooning together. We're the only two that weren't invited.
You and the loogie?
Yeah.
You and Loogie Christina? Oh.
Yeah, I don't know.
You're like, can you do that loogie on my dick, bitch?
Whoa. Wow. We didn't speak like that when I was coming up. First of all, we were not so enlightened as these young people with sex. We didn't have online resources. We sort of had to figure it out ourselves.
I love that you call porn an online resource.
Like, I remember when it came time for me to, get it on for the first time.
Yeah.
I didn't know you had to take your hand and guide it in. Okay? And that was with a younger erection.
Did you fuck her in the asshole by accident?
No, I hit the thigh and I was done.
Have you ever?
Things happened fast in those days. Oh no, the set's falling apart.
No, my Girl Scout cookie that I want to eat. Wait, really quick. Have you ever had a boba tea?
Am I sweating? Is it getting hot in here?
Have you ever?
Yes, with those things. Yeah.
I had my first boba tea the other day.
With Howie Mandel, right?
No.
Because that's who I had my first one with.
Really?
Just like 3 weeks ago.
Oh, that's so weird.
Yeah.
No, this was here. I was like really sick and I was trying to figure out something that I could actually eat and not puke up. Mm-hmm. And I had my first boba tea and it literally felt like when a guy is fucking you and then like just tries to put it in your butt real quick and you're like, oh, whoa, like you never, or like when you're sucking a guy's dick and he put his hand on the back of your head and just like without telling you.
Okay, so let me get this straight.
That's what a boba tea feels like to me.
Okay, so let me get this straight.
You're just like, this is going great, and then you're like it's too much.
Okay, so the lesson
Time's up, boba tea.
The lesson of this.
I was raped by a boba ball.
Wow. I was going to say, so the lesson is that you love boba tea.
I love
it. But now that it assaulted you.
If I'm going to come that hard, please give me a heads up first.
Well, I'll be honest with you. My experience was a lot different with the boba tea.
Yeah.
I didn't feel assaulted at all and rather enjoyed it.
I love it. Why? Okay, so is this a Massachusetts thing, a guy thing, or a guy in his 40s thing that you change the name of things for no reason?
Because I don't know what the boba is.
It's boba.
Okay, I don't.
But
isn't that a body part? The vulva, and the vulva.
I was on the phone with him the other day, and he's like, "I'm at Nordstrom." No, it's Nordstrom. Why do men pluralize department stores?
Okay, first of all, Whitney, who is clearly in control of the communication levels of this friendship. Okay, it starts with me texting her twice, she not returning my text, which leads us to on stage at the Improv, and me attacking her for this, okay, which led to a really funny moment. We're going to release the clips. Now, Whitney jumps to FaceTime. I would never be that bold.
You picked up.
I picked up, and what was I wearing?
Nothing.
That's right. I thought you would get a kick out of that.
I feel assaulted.
I was in physical therapy. My shirt was off, and I thought,
Well, we need to get you into mental therapy. Physical therapy.
That's not very nice, and I disagree.
Let's do this in the order of priorities here.
Priority is my body. Getting
What's
my
wrong
body
with your body?
Well, let's get into that in a minute. So now I'm
going to write things down, body.
I downgrade to phone call because I'm not going to I figure you're busy, so I'm not going to FaceTime you back. Or maybe I phone call. You don't pick up. Again, you're controlling the tempo of the communication.
I was in a meeting or something.
Okay. Now.
I don't pick up when I'm in something.
Well, I was excited you were calling. I'm like, this is a big deal. This is like, you know what I mean?
It was a pocket dial. Okay, I said it.
Yeah. So anyway, then you call back a few minutes later. I'm in Nordstrom. But you said, where are you? I'm like, oh my gosh, coming in a little tense here. I go, I'm at Nordstrom's buying shoes. Now I'm thinking, this is going to impress
I almost ran off the road.
I go, this is going to impress. First of all, she's going to think, finally, a guy who cares about his shoes. He's got the money to shop in Nordstrom. This isn't like the last guy who's trying to impress you with whole grain coffee beans or whole coffee beans. This is I'm in Nordstrom. Not only that, I got like 2 or 3 people around me. Boxes. This is like Pretty Woman, okay? They're excited. They're seeing dollar signs.
Big mistake. Huge.
Yeah. So I say, I'm at Nordstrom's buying shoes. And you go, why do men do that? I'm like, oh my God, I've upset Whitney. What did I do? I'm like, am I not supposed to be at Nordstrom's? Is this 10 years ago where I should have been buying shoes? Is there a new place? And she goes, why do men pluralize everything? I go, what do you mean? She goes, Nordstrom's. I'm like, oh my, she's so upset. Well, maybe I was in 2 Nordstrom's at the same time.
This is how you come off too, right?
Yeah, probably. It's probably
I programmed my name into his phone as WC, and he had a conniption about it
because I couldn't find you, and I had to call people. I had to go. I have Whitney's number, but you put it in the phone as WC, which is water closet. My plumber is under WC. Okay. And so I couldn't find you, so somebody had to give me your number. Then I put it in, and WC comes up. You couldn't just put Whitney Cummings. I mean, it's like This feels
like something that
brag.
This is something that should be slightly frustrating, and it to you is enervating.
Yes.
Irate.
Yeah. I mean, you could have a W Cummings. Like I'm doing Whitney. I'm spelling it different ways. W. Maybe it's H. Maybe it's Hitney Cummings. Maybe it's Cummings with a K. I'm trying everything, and then it didn't matter because I text you and you don't return the text. So I changed it now. So if anybody wants to hack my phone, you can get Whitney's number. I've changed it to Whitney Cummings. The Whitney Cummings.
I think my number's on Reddit. Who cares? Yeah, why didn't you just go on Reddit? My number, I get doxxed all the time. Everyone has my number but you.
Yeah. Do you return the Reddit's people's texts? I'm sure you do.
Sometimes. I'm just like, fuck it.
Yeah.
Okay, so the one of the roast jokes I did at just to the point of people love being roasted if you do it right, and people that sign up for it enjoy it. What we're doing now is we're giving we're pushing comedy on people for free, by the way, on Twitter and during the day when no one wants comedy.
You're talking about us?
Yes.
Yeah.
We're doing this.
Yes.
I'm actually comics need to stop. But here's the thing.
No. Here's the premise. I got it.
But hold on.
Hot take, everybody.
Is it hot in here? Am I sweating?
I think what you're trying to say
is.
No,
I'm going to say it. Just let me. I'm not trying to say it. I'm saying it.
Okay, say it.
Not as quickly as you want me to because you're making me fucking flustered. Comedy is meant to be delivered in the dark at night when you have a drink and no one can see in your...
Not necessarily.
Okay, well, you do festivals. Cool. During the day. You do comedy at 2 p.m. Congratulations. But hold on, let me finish. Which is, and we don't know what we're going in between. Mm-hmm. So we go, I'm going to do this abortion joke or Roe v. Wade overturning joke, and then I send it out there, and I assume everyone follows who I follow. I assume everyone's following comedians.
Yeah.
Not true. A lot, so you can't control what tweet you're below and above. Mm-hmm, so that great abortion joke could have gone below 10 toddlers just got shot in the face at an elementary school and Trump's running again. And then you've got your Roe v. Wade thing and people are like, fuck this. And it's 2:00 and they're at work.
Right.
So I think that this whole thing of like, we're getting canceled. It's like, well, stop doing comedy for people that aren't comedy fans. I would be really fucking annoyed at football if I was like doing what I do and someone's like, football, you need to learn about football. I go look at this football play. And I'm like, I'll watch football when I turn it on. I'll watch football when I go to a football game. Don't push it on me when I don't want it.
Right.
We're doing that. And then we're mad people aren't like, we're jamming free comedy down their throats and we're mad when they're like, I'm at work. Can you not?
Right. I think you're correct that comedy written doesn't work as well as comedy.
We tweet a thing and then we're wondering why people are offended because they delivered it the way they're not comics.
Even Steve Martin, who has such a defined voice, had trouble on Twitter.
With the arrow?
It was misunderstood. No, he didn't. People don't get it. So yeah, I tweet a lot less.
That's not where comedy should be.
Where should it be? TikTok?
In TikTok,
Instagram
yes.
stories?
But here's the thing. Comedy is such a recent invention, you know.
It is?
Stand-up? Yeah, I mean, it's...
Not that recent. It's been going on for
100 years. 80
longer
years?
than that. They've been... There was
stand-up comedy.
Yeah, they used to... The philosophers used to, like, do sort of, this type of thing. Yeah.
Which ones?
I don't know. I may have made that up.
Yeah. I feel like...
You don't have Socrates' first album? I mean, Descartes killed. Descartes had the best closer of all the philosophers.
Those guys were such fucking hacks. Hey, y'all. Me again. Here to talk about your body. There's nothing comedians like talking about more than other people's bodies. That's
true.
And all their crevices, all their curves, and all their edges, and all their perfect imperfections.
Ooh.
ZocDoc, I'm just going to go, is such a great service that... I understand that the people working there are having to like come up with ways to sell it.
Yeah.
I don't think you need to.
It's the best thing in the world because one day your boss is going to look at you and go, find a doctor who will fix my costochondritis. And first you have to figure out how to spell that. But
do you really want to throw stones from impronounceable conditions?
Correct. But
do you really want to throw kidney stones in this direction?
No, but I'm just saying you could just go on ZocDoc, you can type that baby right in, and it'll say, here are 7 doctors or however many doctors in your area who will fix that problem for your boss.
And
you don't even have to call them.
ZocDoc is genius. It's like Uber for doctors.
That's exactly
Am I allowed to say that?
Yeah, I don't know.
Or like Grindr for doctors?
It is. That's what it's Tinder for doctors.
It's like you're able to find a doctor in your area that actually takes your insurance.
You can see a picture of them so you know if they're creepy.
Also not like a...
It's a factor.
But also real doctors. They're
Right.
not like gurus. They're not like magicians, chiropractors, not bone magicians. Medical degrees, people that went to college with tools and little mini hammers that hit your knee.
Yes.
Like real.
Yep. They have tongue depressors. ZocDoc is a free app that shows you doctors who are patient reviewed, take your insurance, very important, and are available when you need them. Go to ZocDoc.com/Whitney and download the ZocDoc app for free. Why not do it? Then start your search for a top-rated doctor today. Many are available within 24 hours. Game changer. That's ZocDoc.com/Whitney. ZocDoc.com/Whitney.
Okay, let's talk about Blissy. Blissy is a silk pillowcase company. I have been talking about silk pillowcases since I had a blog 20 years ago called princesscomplex.com. It was a Tumblr. Fucking do your own research on that, you tinfoil hat dork. Okay? So people ask me, why do I have such good skin? No, like it's, not because I eat babies. You can't do that anymore. What I do is I've always been sleeping on silk pillowcases because what happens is you put the product on your face before you go to bed, all these incredible night creams and serums and all the stuff that you're spending all your money on, and then you put your face on the regular pillowcase and the cotton absorbs everything. It also gets all the moisture out of your hair, which is why your hair breaks and is dry and why you look like Phil Spector. Exactly.
Yeah.
So silk pillowcases also, when you sleep at night, it makes it so that your skin isn't just being like dragged
wrinkling on
down.
itself.
Yeah, exactly. So you're not going to wake up, and look like people on Reddit say I look.
Yeah, exactly.
Grace, take it away.
Blissy is the perfect thing to get somebody for the holidays. The holidays are right around the corner. Why not give them the gift of better sleep? And it comes in like a gorgeous little box
That
with
is
like
true.
tissue paper. It comes like it's a perfect.
The bar is low
little
for Grace,
gift
you guys.
That you could give me.
If you think the
like-
box is awesome, wait till you see what's inside.
I'm like a child of the depression. I'm like,
Yeah.
the box is enough.
So Grace's favorite part of the product is this.
That's beautiful paper. Okay, but you get a little mask.
Okay,
You can
this
get
is a little night mask.
I sleep with one of these every night.
Yeah.
From Blissy, and it's truly changed my life. They're so comfortable. They're so soft. It comes in like a beautiful little drawstring bag. You pull that on a plane, people are like, upgrade her. She should be in first class. Why is she back here in a middle seat in economy?
Try it now, risk-free for 60 nights and get an additional 30% off.
That's BLISSY.com/Whitney and use our code to get an additional 30% off. Your skin and hair will thank you.
BLISSY. It's a pillow company, not hooked on phonics. I think that comedians, our thing is like, First Amendment, I can say whatever I want. And someone's like, I don't think that's funny. And we're like, no First Amendment for you. Like, that's bratty. It's fucking bullshit. Comedians, like, this has always happened. We're not supposed to hear the feedback. We're not supposed to. It's like, when you.
I agree.
You know when you leave a venue and there's crowds of people talking about the show?
Yeah.
I will just turn around. Because someone's going, I love this, but like this, I'm so afraid. They all have the right to have all the opinions. I think if you're coming to my show, you're usually pretty happy, whatever. But like, we're not supposed to hear people's feedback. You're supposed to make a movie and put it out. You get the box office, and then you assume anyone that didn't come wasn't interested.
Right.
Like we've always
the
had
numbers speak.
The numbers used to troll us,
yes.
right? So it used to be like, oh, your movie made $3 million. It was a bomb, and you're like, yeah, all these people said no, thank you.
Right.
They didn't even go in to then say I hate this, but like we didn't focus on that because it was like we're not supposed to hear the water cooler conversation. People have to talk about entertainment. A movie comes out, I hated it, I loved it. What we just talked about before, whether they believe it or not, it doesn't matter.
Right.
You have to have an opinion, and we're just hearing their opinions. And I believe that. People that hate comics, people that are trashing us, they're our best publicists. They're helping us.
I hate it.
I know, but then don't read it.
But I try not to, but what bothers me is when they're so wrong on the facts, when it's not even close to the truth.
So this is what happened to me. This is what happened to me. So, but you have to accept that. Comedians, we are obsessed with truth. We're obsessed with justice. A lot of people do not have time to do they say sloppy shit. That's trash. I hated that. Like, but they need to do that. It's fine. Female comedians are the most hated species of people on the planet. Don't you think?
I don't know if most hated species.
See, this is why you can't date anyone. You're so, what I'm saying, and you're intentionally taking it literally for no reason.
I'm sorry, but can't we have discourse?
Yes.
Didn't we discuss discourse earlier?
but
This is why you can't date anybody, because if you say anything wrong, you just snap.
That's what you're doing.
Yeah.
That's who you are looking in a mirror.
Because Whitney Cummings, I don't want you to feel that. I don't want you to have that complex. I think female comedians are having their time. I think there's
now. I never talk. I am the person that is like, we forgive others not because they deserve forgiveness, and we deserve peace. I didn't say I said I want to be able to make a living doing comedy. I never said on my vision board every single person has to love me. If they do, you're probably not a very good comedian.
right.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, I don't want.
You can't be loved by everybody.
If you are loved by everyone, I wouldn't be.
You're boring.
Something's wrong.
Yeah.
Something's wrong. You're not taking risks. Like, you're not, and so.
But I do agree there is a prejudice against female comedians.
It's not even I don't
Okay,
even.
then I can't agree with you. I can't win. I even disagree with that there's a prejudice against. But I'm saying it because I'm trying to be nice to the host, and then I was going to tell Alex or Mike, whatever his name is, we edit that out later. Pat, edit that out. Mark it, edit it out. There is no prejudice. Female comedians are all doing better than me, as far as I can tell. Okay? I'm doing my podcast out of Shasta, which Whitney couldn't even get the graphic right. What's wrong with a truck? She called it a truck.
I don't know what the fuck that is, dude. Like,
it's a Shasta. You go
bumming me
camping in and
out.
look at there's a thing for
there's a
kerosene
little
oil.
No,
there's a microphone. This is all hand drawn.
I give
up. I retire
love
today.
the image. I just don't think it should be your podcast image.
Okay, well, get me a new one.
Like, how do you pick art that makes you less famous?
I'm already.
What are you doing?
I don't know. I've done everything wrong. I got to get out. I think it's time for me to retire. I think it's time.
No, this is the time for you. Like, it's about to be your time.
I don't know. What are you basing that on?
Because comedians, it's like the best is always yet to come. As long as you don't lose your mind or kill yourself or get sick, like I think comedians are at their best after 40.
Oh, so you don't see anything particular in my career.
You're the best you've ever been, and you're only to get better. And now people are really talking about you. You know, you had like a really big setback. You know, I don't even think we need to talk about it. Like, of just like you were introduced to the world in a way that was just like not fair. You know, and people now are like, that guy's fucking hilarious. You know, the one thing I will say is that if that didn't happen and you had become like a sensation when you were like whatever 25, 30, and been the most. Maybe the universe, maybe that wouldn't have
like served me well.
For me, I personally don't really want to get any more famous. Like it's like I know it doesn't end well for anyone. Makes you a target. Life gets way less fun. You know, it's really hard to know why people want to be friends with you. It's really stressful. It's really like, you know, I'm not complaining.
No, it all makes sense.
I know psychologically when I look back and I'm like, I didn't get this and I didn't get this. I'm like, had I gotten it, I probably would have.
I think you got it. I think you've done very well.
Thank you. But I look at things, I've mostly failed. No.
I admire and respect you so much for what you've accomplished in your work. I really do. And on that note, Give me career advice. I'd be curious.
Okay, we'll get to it in a second. We'll get to that
because
in a second.
I shouldn't have interrupted myself because I saw a visceral look in your eye that me saying that, you know,
made me be physically ill.
No, I think it. This is why you're single. I think it touched you. I think it's good for you to hear that, like, you did it. You did what nobody else has done. I mean, I wish I could have created my own sitcom. Yep. And I would have called it Whitney. I wish.
And telling Christine, Loogie girl.
Yeah, I wish. I bet I'm the same height as her now. I wish I could have created another show called Two Broke Girls and just bought properties all over Southern California and the 50 continental states.
He goes, by the way, this is my favorite. This is why, I mean, no one makes me fucking laugh like you. So, which is tricky because I go like the funniest people a lot of times are the most discontent people and can't enjoy, and just we see the world in a way that no one else sees it. And I think the things that most people enjoy, we don't get it. And so I do in my backyard, I have like a mountain, like a beautiful view. And during the pandemic, a lot of my friends had movies coming out in specials and they couldn't do premieres.
This is a good story. Yeah.
So I was doing these outdoor screenings for my friends and we'd have like influencers over and people and we'd pose it. And then so I spent all this, like, I'm like, I should do an outdoor screening room because it seems like this whole pandemic thing might not go away. And Schultz, he came over, like, we put a special up, like, I'm having, like, let's have premieres here that no one has to worry about COVID. So I have these like swings. It's really a wonderful moment. I don't enjoy it. I'm with you. I never go over there except when someone comes over to show them. Yeah. And so I put the screen down. I'm like trying to like go like, Orny, look at this. We can like
impress me. You can say.
Yeah, I can try to press you.
It's part of the tour.
I put the screen down. Outdoor screening room. It's like. It's pretty fucking amazing. I did MTV Cribs recently, and it's like, you know, it's like the cool moment. And he was like, well, this blocks the view.
Yeah, just block the view. Made no sense to me. Well, there's a beautiful view. Screen comes down. Now my view is Andrew Schultz. That's not what I paid all this money for this property. I could do that at my house. I couldn't believe it. And then the screen starts going up, and I'm like, is this part of the tour over? Like, I thought we were going to project something on the screen. I thought you were going to show me, like, how many, like, you know, how great and clear the image is. Screen, beautiful view, mountains. There's deer. There's mountain lions. There's foliage. There's no foliage anymore. It's fall in California. There's no fall in California except outside of Whitney's house. This screen. Now I'm staring at a blank screen, which is how I would define my career. And Whitney goes, I go, what's that? I go, I just lost the view. She goes, but isn't this great? I go, well, the view, I was enjoying the view. And then the screen goes up. Whitney walks away. And now, this is how the entire tour of the property goes.
We had to get started and I had to get dressed.
I have to go, Whitney, am I supposed to follow you? I'm still sitting here.
But how do you not know?
We're moving on.
How do you not know? Like, oh yeah, I'll just follow her.
I didn't catch the clip.
By the way, he sat in a chair that is like the only chair I have that's not dangerous.
Yeah, I almost fell out of
in
it.
my house. He sat in it like it was a rocking chair. You just sat in it.
Whitney, you have to tell me you have to go. The tour continues now.
It's 2 inches. This chair is literally 2 inches off the ground. There's no way to injure it. He sat in it. Almost
Can you imagine if I sat next to you on the swing? How creepy that would have been
almost
to
flipped.
view the screen. Hey, come over and view the screen.
Why is sitting on a swing with a man so sexual? Like, why can't 2 grown adults sit on a swing and it not be a date?
Because, Whitney, there are about 8 other seating options around it. So if I'm sitting on the swing, stuff's happening. Stuff is going down. Okay? And I'm not talking about the screen.
Let me ask you a question.
And then the tour continues, and this is like, I go, what's happening? Oh, now we're over here. Then we go sit in another section.
Okay, so he goes, why do you live out here? And I'm like, let me show you. And then he's
Yeah.
like, why are you showing me?
Yeah. Well, even just, first of all, getting off the highway, and from the highway to the house.
I'm not doing this.
Is already too. We're doing it. You sound just like Bobby Lee on my podcast. I'm not doing this. I'm leaving.
Did he say that?
By the way, we don't have headsets, and this still works. Why do podcasts have headsets?
It's you know what I think it is? I think it's a prop.
Yeah.
That not for Rogan. Rogan, it's the headset is a really big part of it.
Why is it?
Just kind of like it's I don't know, for some reason on Rogan there's something psychological about just I think being in it with it's like a Pavlovian thing. I don't know why.
I mean, his voice is so hypnotic.
I love it because I have like Tourette's OCD where I like interrupt people when I get excited and I can't control it all the time. I'm on Prozac now and it's helpful.
I'm glad you're aware of this. No, I wanted to bring it up. I have it on my notes on my phone to bring it up, but after the podcast, I didn't want to talk about it on the podcast.
We talk about everything on the podcast.
Okay.
When they will never make eye contact again unless it's on the podcast. See, that's my thing is like I don't know, when comedians are around each other off camera, we're kind of just like, well, like, I don't know. For some reason on podcasts, I feel like we bring out our best selves.
I'm new to this. I've been closed
I can
and
tell.
not open. I'm not a good guest.
I'm
am I?
joking.
I'm a horrible guest.
But why don't I? You're an amazing guest. You're
because
killing me.
My philosophy from the beginning of my career, starting in Boston and then New York, was to go in, do my work, do the best work I can,
Yeah.
and then just go home and write and take notes after shows and say this went right, this went wrong, and really master the craft. That's because
you really are.
I love writing. I love coming
You're
up with
like
a new
a
premise.
cobbler.
I am a cobbler. I'm the guy you go to and you
Yeah.
say, my joke is broken.
And I love that about you. But yeah, I love that about you because I think a lot of people now are just like, I write on stage. And I'm like, what? I am such a fucking dork about comedy because I care so much about the audience and I care so much about like entertaining them. And this whole thing of like having a notebook, just being like, what else is happening?
Yeah.
Anyway, it's just like I saw one time at the Pasadena Ice House. It changed me forever, and I'm curious about moments in your life that, like, you know, I think sometimes it takes a long time to change something about yourself, but then something happens, and it's like, boom, done. That would have taken me 10 years had I not seen this thing or experienced this moment, which I was at the Pasadena Ice House. And I always I love comedy. Like, I love comedy. I watch people's sets.
Yeah.
I also want to know what people are doing because I
Yeah.
want to make sure I'm never doing anything close. And so I'm at the Pasadena Ice House. I'm on next, and someone's on, and whatever comic it was like, hey, so where are you from? And then the person was like, Mississippi or whatever it was. And then he's like, okay, what about you? Where are you? And a man stood up in the third row and went, he's from Florida. He's from Pasadena. He's from Texas. Can you please just tell some fucking jokes?
Wow.
And it changed my brain forever.
In what way?
Well, because I was just like, I am never going to, coming up as a comic, seeing so many successful comedians waste stage time by being like, anyway, what else is going on? Or doing stuff that they've already done in specials or just being self-indulgent. I was like, I will never do that because I'm sitting here ready to fucking entertain these people. And you're kind of just like.
It is a privilege to be on stage.
I take it really, really seriously.
I love to hear that. And you have all day to prepare.
Well, it's your job. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like when comics come up and like, anyway, what else is happening? It's like, you had to work 15 minutes today. Like, just cancel something. There's 19
I'll
people.
tell you a secret. I have, and I'll go on stage tonight, and I have an objective every time. I have notes, and I hit this. Sometimes it's one line.
And this is why you didn't bomb like the other ones, because a lot of people go on and they just go like, oh, well, I've been funny before, so I'm going to coast. Half the people there don't know you, and they're like, I'm just going to kind of come and phone it in.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's why those people were bombing and you killed.
Yeah, so sometimes it's be more likable. Sometimes it's sprinkle in, take more beats. Sometimes it's, and it's always something in challenge. Always challenge yourself to be better. So, yeah, it drives me nuts when people get up on stage and just sort of like...
The audience is coming to see the people that are the best at this.
Especially in L.A.,
Yes.
these group shows.
So when someone just wants to do stand-up because they want to impress a girl or they want to get laid or whatever like that, the audience is like, I drove here.
Mm-hmm.
I got a sitter. We watch comedy. We know what good comedy is, and you're being sloppy.
Yeah. And, comedy is also like your outfits. Like, sometimes you get to a point you go, I have nothing new to wear. I just don't feel good.
Yeah, go to
And
Nordstrom's.
Right. Go to Nordstrom's, plural, and get your pillows. And you have to, like, there was 2 weeks ago, I thought, I'm not looking forward to getting up on stage. I need to change that. I need to write to the point
True
where I'm
classic
excited
shirts.
to get up on stage.
These are great men's t-shirts.
What is this from the last guy?
It's called True Classic.
Oh, am I doing an ad now?
And
Did I
promo
just-
code Whitney.
Yeah, thank you. I'd like them to sponsor What's Wrong with Trucks.
You have
with ORNY Adams.
It's a Shasta, according to you.
Shasta.
Okay.
1963
With some
vintage.
Palos. So you get decision fatigue.
Yes, absolutely.
I do not make game time decisions. I basically on Sundays, I know I get made fun of for this, fine. It really works for me because my ADD is so intense and I get really bad like decision paralysis because perfectionism leads to procrastination, which leads to paralysis, right? So I make as many decisions as
Where's
I
that T-shirt?
on myspace.tv. And I like to make as many decisions as possible on Sundays. I pick out every outfit for the week on Sunday. Remember you came into my closet with me and it was just hanging out?
Yeah.
Because if you come over and I need to make, and I clam up. And
Can I ask you something about the closet?
that's not
when-
my closet though. That's a different,
Okay, I understand you have more clothes than that. What
that's my
When you-
costume closet.
when you took your shirt off in front of me? Was I supposed to turn around or was I supposed to like try and get a little side?
You tell me.
I turned around
You
because
did.
I thought this is so. What happened
He
was
also, by the way, saw a white little like ankle sock on the floor. I was like, I think that's a tampon. Your tampon's out.
well,
I
I
was
mean,
like, Orny, this is a sock. Do you think my pussy is this large?
well, not that. I thought maybe your flow was that much.
I'm not that super.
Okay. Well, so Whitney takes her. She goes, takes a bra out and is now going to put the bra on for the podcast. In
Okay.
case you're wondering how much I had to endure before we got in front of the microphones.
I am the female Louis C.K.
Yeah,
I just realized that.
I like saw like the side of your, and I go, this isn't right. And I like turned around like a nerd. Like I should have taken
You're a
that.
fucking dork.
I should have
dude.
taken that in. That was my moment, right? You were testing me. You're like, let's see if he's a real man.
It's a power move.
Can you strap the bra for me? Can you?
What's up with men and still when they try to take a woman's bra off, they go for the front clasp?
Okay, I don't speak for all men, but I think it depends on
Oh,
the
now
age.
you're not literal all of a sudden?
No, I think that it really depends what era you came up in, okay?
Because all the
So
guys
I'm
now-
so old, it was still back bra. So I still go for the back. But I remember like 10 years out of college, it switched to the front. There was no notice. There was no sort of like, hey, everybody, it's now in the front. And so you'd go for the back and she'd go, it's in the front. And you're humiliated, okay? At that point, you're like, I don't know if I can keep it up anymore because I've now been scolded for my bra taking off technique, as if I haven't done this before.
I hate
so
it.
eventually it's going to
but
move
also,
to...
don't pretend that you weren't fucking trying to be David Copperfield with one hand. Like, could you... Guys, when they go with the one hand, are like, I'm like, do you think that's a turn on that you can take a bra off with one hand? Do you think we're like, oh, that's so hot? He's taking off so many bras.
These are like the guys. Remember
Pretend
the guys?
you don't know how. That's cuter. It's like how we pretend we haven't done this before. Pretend you haven't done it before.
I can do that. I'm very good at that.
Yeah.
Because you guys keep switching the enclosure. Pretty soon it's going to be like, It's on the side. It's on the side. It's actually, excuse me, it's actually Bluetooth enabled. So you're going to need to go on your phone, download an app, and then you're going to have to sync up to my bra, and then you're going to have to unhinge it via Bluetooth.
This is a device controlled by the clapper.
Yeah.
So I, like, in the last, like, 10 years hooking up with guys, I feel like they always, like, they'll be, like, here, and I'm like, what are you doing?
Where are they?
And they're like, oh, I'm looking for the class. I'm like, what the fuck? Like,
You don't announce it.
Yeah, I feel like these people have been hooking up with a lot of, like, handicap people or something.
Somebody is going to invent the Bluetooth-enabled bra via app, and I'm going to be out of money. This is, Howie Mandel would turn this into, like, half of his studio would be like, what's going on over there, Howie? Oh, that's the Bluetooth-enabled bra section?
So that you never have to touch a woman's breast.
Yeah, you never...
There is you get under boob sweat. I mean, that's the thing. No, I was
noticed.
I was on his podcast. No, I was on his podcast, and the lead singer from Kiss was there.
Yeah, what is his name? Gene Simmons.
Gene Simmons.
I got it before you, buddy. It was a tie.
So, I feel like you're the person that will, like, go to dinner with a friend, and when you leave the restaurant, you'll, like, race to the car.
I can't wait. When I'm out with somebody, I just can't wait to get home.
Do you still race people in parking lots?
No, I'm not.
Are you sure? Are you the guy that even now you leave Applebee's and you're like,
excuse me.
It starts sprinting.
Excuse me. Don't insult me and then double insult me with Applebee's. Don't top the insult with Applebee's.
How dare you come for Applebee's? Applebee's is amazing. What's your restaurant?
Okay, the last time I was in an Applebee's.
Spinnakers?
Yeah. The last time
What's your, like, chain?
It used to be cheesecake.
Why did it stop?
I just don't eat that anymore. I don't know why. There's no cheesecakes around me. But if I'm on the road, I'll go to cheese because I know I'm not going to get food poisoning.
But Cheesecake
if I go to the
Factory,
cheesecake.
the amount of food they give you makes it so you never have room for the cheesecake.
Yeah, right. You
I
don't
came
you
here
get that
to
to
have
go.
cheesecake at the end, but my salad is like it's wild the amount of food they give.
The last time I was at Applebee's, I go into the bathroom, the men's bathroom, and on the top of the trash is a pregnancy test.
Oh my God.
And it's positive. Okay, it's first of all, it's in the men's bathroom, which means she must have gone into. They decided in
Men
the middle
can
of.
be pregnant now.
Okay, but this is 10 years ago, 15 years ago. They decided mid-date at Applebee's, maybe we should check just to make sure if I'm pregnant. So she goes into the woman's room, takes a pregnancy test, must hand it off to him in the men's room for verification, and then they don't even cover it up. They don't even, like, wrap it. It's just sitting there. And I said, you know what? These are not the people I want to be eating fried food with. I'll have my corn fritters. That I'll tell you what doesn't go on a Cheesecake Factory. There aren't pregnancy tests. No, people aren't taking COVID tests. There's no way. Everybody goes there and they eat.
Also, I'm pretty sure the name of the restaurant is Applebee.
Applebee's. I go from there's a Cheesecake Factories. Cheesecake Factories next to Nordstrom's at the Groves.
P.F. Chang's. That is correct. So I remember. God, when was this? It was when eBay kind of first started, or Craigslist. Sorry, when Craigslist first started, there were lots of women that would, when they were pregnant, they would sell positive pregnancy tests.
Wow.
To other women, so I could go to you and go, wow, I need $1,000 to take care of this.
Wow.
And I remember going, fuck, why? When I was 21, I would totally have.
Really?
Yeah, well, I mean, not 21. I just mean
would you have been the one selling the pregnancy test, or would you have been the one buying the pregnancy test?
When you're broke, the kind of thing, like, this guy's a fucking asshole anyway. He cheated on me. Whatever. He's a shithead. We're breaking up anyway. I can see myself before I got into a program to reparent my brain and out of the scarcity complex of, like, it's me versus the world and I'd, like, have to do anything to survive. I can see myself being like, oh, that's a kind of good racket.
It's interesting. I haven't heard of that one. That's pretty amazing. Wow.
Yeah,
that's
it's like I have the tests of when I was positive for COVID, and I mean, I saved them.
You saved them? That's a little weird.
I might need them. You never
really?
know. Yeah. Just can't make it. And you send I mean, I've done it. I'll just send a picture of the positive COVID test. I'm like, can't make it. Sorry.
I would just take a pen and just fill it in. Just 2 lines. There you go.
I think that it would be obvious.
I like to turn calling in sick into arts and crafts. That's what I like to do.
You're at fucking getting watercolors from fucking CVS.
Oh yeah, no, I would go to Joan's Fabrics. I turn it into a whole day. Joanne's Fabrics.
Why can't men say anything?
Why do you hate men so much that you have to put us in a group? What if I said, why do women this? Why do women? I'd be canceled.
You probably have the career you want.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to get back to what's your career advice for Orny
No,
Adams?
but I just
want to
can't
get back
tell.
to your story on the internet. What happened to you?
Okay,
I
really
want to
quick.
get back to all this stuff down.
I think that certain people pluralize things on purpose, and I never know.
No, I'm not trying to be ironic
But here's
or
the other
funny.
thing. Sometimes I try to go like, it's like me going like, you have food in your tooth. Like, it's Nordstrom. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's
But if you say I'm at Nordstrom
I like
buying
when people correct me. Like, I was saying things wrong.
well, then you're with the right guy.
I used to say it's the best thing since sliced bread. And finally, someone went, what did you just say? And I went, it's the best thing since sliced bread. And she was like, it's sliced bread. I was like, what?
Yeah.
I've been saying this wrong my whole life and no one's corrected me.
Yeah.
Like, I look like such a fucking idiot. And then I said,
Oh, you were doing that on purpose.
no.
I mean, not on purpose.
I thought it was.
You were legit stupid?
You don't say any aphorisms or adages wrong.
Sure I do. I say Nordstrom's. I get stuff wrong all the time.
I thought it was Chester drawers.
I got to be honest with you. There's a misconception that I'm intelligent, and I'm not. I get stuff
That's
wrong
what intelligent people
the
say.
time, all the time. In
Yeah.
fact, people go, oh, what's your IQ? People say, what's your IQ?
That means nothing.
I don't even know what IQ stands for. I thought it stood for like intelligence quiz. That's right. And then I looked it up and it said intelligent quotient. I don't even know what quotient means.
It's kind of the same thing. I mean, what do you think? Do you know what .com stands for?
.com. Yes. There's a website and then there's a dot.
But what does com stand for?
Communication. Communal. Why are you laughing?
Because it's so close to what Whitney thought it was.
I thought it was .computer.
Okay, wait. What is it? Compadre?
Commerce.
Oh, really? But here's the thing. Why do we need that knowledge at all? We don't. That is such nonsense. It really is. Do you know what .tv stands for?
Because you're going to be on a date with some girl you like, and you're going to say it stands for .communication, and that you won't fuck you. That is what is hot about men. You know shit I don't know. I think that's hot when a guy's like, oh, you know that this actually meant that. Golf stands for gentlemen only, ladies forbidden. It's not. I love that shit.
But then it becomes mansplaining. You can't be having
I love
mansplaining.
okay,
Really?
I come from.
You just got more attractive to me.
I come from mansplaining because men know all the stuff. How else are we going to learn it?
But how do we know everything if we can't get Nordstrom's, if we're pluralizing things?
Because I think you guys pretend to be dumb on purpose sometimes. And
I suspect a lot of the guys you're dating are dumb. They're actually dumb. I haven't met them, but I'm suspecting.
So here's what you guys do. Like, it's like when guys pretend they don't know how to work the dishwasher, so that we're like, I'll do it. Like, I think a lot of times I do it. Sometimes too, I'll be like, I can't open this, and so that someone will do it.
Is that what the whole coffee making thing was about? Because you were
No,
like,
I genuinely-
the
this
plug
is-
didn't work. Then you couldn't get the then you couldn't turn the coffee maker. She goes, I can't turn the coffee maker on.
that was-
I walk over, I press the button, put a little force into it, little testosterone.
Is that how you finger women? I feel like it is.
But right, you just think about that as much as you want, and so you know what I'm saying. I'll go right into the camera. You can have that for later.
You trying to take the bra off. But no, that's why I got so mad, because I do sometimes pretend I don't know how to do something to set a precedent that this is not something I'm going to do forever.
Yeah.
So and then someone will go, I'll just do it. And I think women right now think that receiving help means you're weak or dumb. And we're not. Men need to have a purpose. They need to have something to do. They need to
So you want to go back to more traditional role playing of cis male?
No,
Am I saying this correct?
No, but this thing where women are just like, I'll do it. I'll do it. I'll
Yeah.
do it. It's like, just let someone else do something for. It's like when women are like, I can open my own door. Thank you. It's like, okay, well,
Right.
just let him do it for him.
Right.
Like, what else? Men need something to do.
Yeah,
like
I
you're
agree.
so independent that you have what do I you do? You have a dildo. You have your own fucking car. You make your own money. Got it. Like, why do you need me? You know? So
Yeah.
I think that for me, I have to go out of my way to go, like, I am so independent. I worked really hard, but if I want to be in a partnership, I can't be this independent.
Right.
You know, because
like
it's like
it.
we have different love languages. It's like me giving you a gift and you not opening
Why
it.
is everybody saying love language all of a sudden? Why are we saying green flags, red flags? What? I don't care what you love. Your love language is that I know how to turn on the coffee maker? This sounds real easy. This sounds like a home run. Remember David Letterman? He used to throw. You don't remember David Letterman?
I do, yeah. I do. I love him.
I'll tell you, I did both shows in the same year, which was a huge accomplishment for me.
Yeah.
And when I did Letterman, it felt very cold. It felt very sort of...
Well, he does keep his studio at 58 degrees.
They changed my opening joke. This is going back 25 years. In New York City, there used to be, you would take the bus. You would do shows and you'd go uptown on a train or a subway, and then you go crosstown on a bus. And I'm going crosstown on a bus, and there's an ad on the bus and it says, chances are somebody in the bus has lupus. I look around, I'm the only one on the bus. I'm like, I got lupus. This was my opening joke for years. Then it closes with, right, me going to the doctors, and then, me calling the doctor's office, and then they're saying, is this the guy with lupus? Okay, so it calls back to the end. The day I'm doing Letterman, I'm in the hotel, and George Shapiro, my manager at the time, calls and says, they just ran your stuff by Dave. I've been running the set for months. I used to watch you every night for months and give you notes. Well, I don't know what it was, but I was on a bus. There were ads that said psoriasis. This is a real story. I can always tell, like if you ask me where I was anytime I write a joke, any joke, you can take any joke and say, where were you? I can tell you the etymology, the origination of the joke. It's a real story. And when it's a real story, it comes from your heart.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
And so they said, Dave is not comfortable with you saying lupus. And the writers, we all got together and we suggest you say psoriasis. Now, I've never told this on stage before. Lupus is funny because lupus is ambiguous.
But I literally was about to say, why is lupus such a funny word?
It's a funny word.
I think that is fucking fishy. That's fishy.
And it's a word that
Lupus.
the disease that I think
psoriasis is totally, it's comedy writers. This makes me think someone wanted to do like you were stepping on something someone wanted to do, or they wanted to own, because everybody knows David Letterman's writers more than anyone that lupus is so much funnier than psoriasis.
Lupus is a disease I think is predominantly something that women get, okay? Which makes it even funnier.
It's just so funny.
So Shapiro's now talking me into it. He goes, just do it. This is why I hate my career, because I've been a softie. I've let this industry push me around.
Yeah.
And instead of saying, no, you know what? Pull me from the show.
Because we go, okay, we're comics. If we're just compliant, you'll let me do that. If I just kiss your, and there's been this thing of like, if I get this lawyer, some of them went to law school or some of them went to school for advertising, who now is a comedy agent for no reason, Like literally, I don't even know why you do you hate comedy? Like why do you, like truly the only people that I will work with on the comedy side are people that used to work in comedy clubs. Like my manager, Judy Marmel, was a waitress. In comedy clubs. You know?
Yeah, I know.
And I would rather work with someone who actually, like, before they were in comedy, were in comedy in some capacity. Now people are like, I'll just be a comedy manager. I mean, it's just fucking a bunch of, just booking clowns at a bunch of chuckle huts. Like, I don't know. So that, to me, is just, it makes me so mad.
It gets worse.
Because then we go like, if I just am nice to this person, and da-da-da-da, and then it fucks you.
Right.
And the people that are assholes fucking win, and you're like, I don't get it.
I should have pulled myself from the show. Nowadays, you pull yourself from the show and you'd blast it on the internet. Okay, but we didn't have that then. So George is like, I suggest you do it. Otherwise, you'll never get on the show again. So they said, hey, just so you don't forget, we'll have a guy holding a cue card that says psoriasis. So I'm about to do the show. As I'm sitting backstage for the curtains to open, a guy, this is going to blow your mind, comes up to me. This is in the dark, so I don't know who it is. And he said, hey, Orny, he said, you're a really, big comic. Remember, this is Dave's show. And then you hear Paul Schaefer play, and then
you see three people bring out carbonated drinks
to
put aspirin in.
They go, ladies and gentlemen, and Dave goes, please welcome Orny Adams, right? I walk out, and I'm going to say I was on a bus, And I look around, I
wonder
see
if-
somebody wearing, there's a sign that says somebody on the bus has psoriasis. I look up, there's a guy holding a sign that says psoriasis. And I hadn't thought about it that it begins with a P and goes to an S. So I'm like, I have psoriasis? I have Cyrus? In my head, I'm getting it wrong. I have
Because you've done lupus so many times.
I should have gone out and done lupus and just said.
Because what happens is like once you get such the muscle memory of it, and then once you go to the super unfamiliar environment and you're in fight or flight and the adrenaline floods your brain and your like hippocampus just shuts down.
Yeah, and you're in front of all these cameras.
Yeah.
And back then, Letterman was the biggest show.
The biggest show. That is the most high pressure, high stakes situation you could have been in that time.
Yeah, and when you do Letterman, like you're in New York, they clear the road for you can go on any club, you can walk in, like he's doing Letterman tomorrow night. Like it was a big deal. And so to have them mess with, and by the way, lupus didn't get a big laugh at all.
That is the Super Bowl for comics at that time.
Yeah, and then the next day I'm flying home, coach, probably middle seat. And as I'm walking down the aisle, a lady comes up to me and she said, "Hey, I saw you last night on Letterman, and I just want you to know I have psoriasis, and it's not funny." And I said, "I know it's not funny. Lupus is funny." And nobody ever, the Lupus Society, I think, had me perform for them one year. They never objected to me being on the bus. I'm not making fun of people with lupus. I'm making fun of the stupid sign. And mathematically, I'm the only one on the bus. Do I have to explain this to the Letterman writers? I'd like a documentary about that. What happened to Orny's lupus joke on Letterman? If anybody want to come on my podcast, What's Wrong with Trucks? With Orny Adams.
Comedians and trailers.
Comedians.
Doing
I'm
podcasts.
knocking off. Yeah. Comedians and trailers not being offered drinks.
Comedians in Shasta, they can't make coffee.
Yeah.
I could never do comedians in houses getting coffee. I want to do a show that's just comedians trying to make coffee.
Why is this? You know, this is what happens with every drink.
Yeah.
The condensation, they got to fix this. It's
I just don't
2022.
know how anyone can date either of us who doesn't think like us. Like, how does a girl respond to how mad you are at that drink?
They're confused.
Yeah,
because
you-
they've been dating
you have-
boring financial people that have Lamborghinis.
You are the same level of angry when it comes to like a horrible, unfair thing that happened to you in your career and like a mug.
Well, I mean, no, but think about it. Like, why is this accepted? Why? Why? So I just want to have a drink. I figure we're going to edit this. So we'll cut away when I'm
No,
about
do
to
this as if we're not.
Now it drips on.
I'm not editing out you drink.
No, I get no. I figure this is if it's like my podcast. If I'm taking a
You're
sip,
mad at condensation?
yes, I'm furious.
You can't.
It keeps dripping onto my pants. It looks like I pee-peed myself, and I'm looking. Is that on camera? I'm looking.
How do you say if you're going to go to the bathroom? What do you say?
Urinates?
You're saying
I pluralize it.
I was with someone the other day, a guy who was like, "I'm gonna go potty real quick."
Well,
I was
he
like-
needs to grow up.
I was like, "What?"
He needs to grow up.
It was like, "I just gotta go potty." I was like, "You're like 50."
You know what I say? I say, I'm going to go use the WC. I go, hang on, WC. I'm going to go use the WC. That's what I do.
Tell me about a date with Orny Adams. How does it go?
I want to talk about that towards the end. I want to hear
It's
more.
my podcast.
I
You
forgot.
talk about it when I want to talk
Why
about it.
can't I hear what happened to you online?
It is the end.
Oh, it is the end?
I'm joking.
Didn't it end like 20 minutes ago?
I'm joking.
But wait a minute. On the list.
Don't look at my list. It's right here. No, but just tell. Okay. Well, I wanted to tell the one roast joke that proves that doing these events, getting roasted. These super powerful billionaires, if they can't be roasted, that's a problem.
Well, what happened to you online?
I'm going to tell you that in a second. So I was with all these like super famous tech billionaires, the most powerful people in the world,
Yeah.
and they're signing up to be made fun of. You know, I think there's a level of the malignant narcissism of like, as long as someone's talking about me, don't give a shit. I'm so rich. Look at this little
Right.
waitress making fun of me. Like look at her flirting with
Yeah.
me. But I did say, I looked at the list of people attending this event tonight, and I thought it was Lauren Sanchez's vision board. You know what I mean? It was
great.
Yeah, but it's like
great.
you can do stuff like that. You know?
Yeah.
The story. Okay, so I get a lot of shit. It's fine. I don't need to talk about it. I don't need to get oxygen. If people don't like me, that's totally fair. I probably agree with you. I probably, whatever. It doesn't matter. It's like, I think
does
that
matter.
When you're a comedian, I think that if you hate me,
Maybe
But why?
maybe like 20% is actually about
Why?
me, because I think that a woman talking that you have no chance of fucking, who has opinions, and it's I get it. You know what I mean? I get it. Like,
I don't know. You're just trying to make people laugh. Do you think maybe
totally,
they can attack you less?
But I think that people forgot, if they don't like someone, they can just unfollow them or change the channel. They now go,
or how about this? Not say anything.
yeah, but they're I'm gonna hate fuck this. Just don't watch it. You know,
Yeah.
you can turn there's literally more channels than ever. There's more content than ever. Just mute me, unfollow me. Like if I'm people think that they hate fuck you, or they kind of forgot that they have a choice to not consume what you do at all.
Yeah.
But I think that we have a very rampant self-righteous indignation addiction. And I think in 50 years, we're going to look back the way that we look back at like smoking cigarettes while pregnant and drinking during that. We'll go, remember when like people used to just follow people they hated and just fucking trash them? It was
Troll.
it was an addiction. It's an addiction.
I think trolling is out because it just is not as powerful as it used to be.
But also trolling, like, it doesn't exist, because you can only troll if you're a functioning adult who's making the choice to troll. I think we look at people that shit on us online and we assume that they're all like men in suits who are like at their law firm and like, give me a second, I gotta say Whitney's a piece of shit. It's kids. It's like kids.
it could be bots too.
It could be bots or kids. So it's like we're assuming everyone is like some brilliant, high-functioning, emotionally stable person who's going, you're a piece of shit. It's literally like if you walk by a homeless person, a meth zombie on Melrose, who's like, you suck. It's like us going, I do?
Yeah.
Don't say, well, you're trolling me. Like
Right.
that's what these people are doing. And you know, when I was a kid, we would toilet paper people's houses. We would knock over their mailboxes. We would egg people's homes. Like, we used to do physical
Sounds
damage.
like a waste of toilet paper and eggs, but okay.
We used to do physical damage to people's houses
Yes.
for no reason. So these are just kids being like, fuck you. It's like Bill Burr when he was on, he said something that was like, really made me see it differently. He was like, dude, if when I was 16, I had a direct line to my hero, I would totally I would be like, hey, motherfucker, like.
Really?
He's like, it would be funny. You know, he was like, you're a kid. Like,
Yeah.
you just want to get the attention of someone that you like or don't like, you know?
Right.
And so, so I think we're like a little ageist in that area, both ways, because we're like, you know, a lot of older people that are like, you suck. Like, they just don't know how the internet works. I'm like, you know, this, everyone can see this, right?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know what you look crazy, you know? Whereas, like Roseanne, you know, I think that tweet was totally not okay, but there was, you know, some ageism and like, she's like, well, I'm like, Twitter is for journalists to find stories now. She's like, oh, it is? I thought I was just making a joke. It's like, that's not what it is anymore. But it's ageist to assume that you know the ecosystem of Twitter. You have to really keep up with what it's about, you know? And so she learned the hard way. So I'm used to getting shit on. I don't care. It's fine. Please use me as your punching bag. My thing is like, I didn't sign up for how I made someone's day. So I would love to make you laugh. If you need to go, she's a piece of shit, and you're like, yeah, fucking God. If that's how I make your day, great.
Right.
Like, if that's where you get your dopamine, whatever. Like, you know? And so people, like, we're clowns. And some people go, ugh, clowns are fucking wild. Ugh. Like, fine. You know? And so I know what this is. So this is what got me. There's a lot of like internet comedians that don't do stand up and they do reaction videos and they make fun of the people that are taking risks. They make fun of the people that are in the arena. They make fun of the people that are putting their ass on the line.
Theodore Roosevelt in the arena.
Is that?
Yeah,
I thought that was Brene Brown. I thought that was Brene Brown.
Who? No, I'm a man, and we know things that you don't know. Am I right, Theodore Roosevelt in the arena?
Absolutely.
Thank you. Thank you.
By the way, thank you. But here's the
When I want to know that.
Thank
the
you
man
for
was right.
mansplaining me. Now I know.
You're welcome. I'd like to take a moment to tell you that.
If anyone doesn't want to be mansplained to, like, why do you want to stay dumb? Who cares how they say it? Who cares?
Anyway, in the arena.
How are we going to learn if they don't tell us? You're telling me you knew that? Don't mansplain me.
First
It's
of all-
not. People literally, college students are like, my professor's mansplaining me. It's called teaching.
Yeah.
If you don't know it, it's not mansplaining. It's teaching.
Yeah. Yeah.
You fucking cunt.
Well, here's the thing, and maybe you're guilty of this too. It seems like there's a lot of inserting gender into.
Something that's not gendered.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, like. You know, I'm Jewish. If you said, hey, Orny, why are you so upset about, condensation? I'm like, What? Because I'm Jewish? I can't make fun of like it has nothing to do with it. And there's
Yeah.
a lot of that. There's a lot of like people taking their own issues
You know
out.
that men are even more patronizing to other men, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's like the Chappelle thing. Like, I'm doing this a bit. I think you've seen it of like, I'm talking about the trans thing because I have so many transgender friends. And like, it's like with the Chappelle thing, it's Chappelle being one of the, I think, best comedians who's ever lived. And if not the greatest. And I just want to tell my trans girlfriends, like, wait till you see what he said about women for the past 30 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just like, wait till you fully identify as a woman. You're going to be really pissed. If what he said about trans women, like, wait till you see what he said about women.
The other thing is you don't know if Chappelle or other comedians are trying to evoke a reaction in a conversation. So, like,
That's right.
I really believe, like, I remember when I was doing comedy in New York in the 90s, there was a lot of like you would call it homophobic. There was
Yeah.
a lot of making fun of homosexuality, and it caused a discussion. And I know a lot of people will disagree with me with this and think that this is wrong of me to say, but I think comedians are great at causing a discussion.
You guys know me by now, and you know what annoys me the most about men in general. There is no excuse for you to be wearing a deep V where I can like see the like Ed Hardy dog tag that your ex-girlfriend gave you. Like, what are we doing?
Why does your shirt have holes in the armpits?
Why does it come down to mid-thigh?
Yeah, or it's a crop top.
It's a t-shirt. Just don't overthink it.
Right.
Just normal shirts. Do you remember when I wanted to start a
Yes,
business?
yes,
It was a
yes.
store. It was just called Normal Shirts.
And that's why our friends at True Classic have literally done that. They are reinventing the t-shirt by just making it the perfect simple
Yes.
t-shirt. It is the perfect simple thing that will make your man look spicy because he will look like a normal person.
True Classic has already helped over 2 million men look great in their tees.
And now you can save big while you look great at the same time. Get 25% off True Classic with our exclusive link, trueclassic.com/Whitney. And the discount doesn't stop there. You'll save even more during their site-wide sale. Support our show and check them out at trueclassic.com/Whitney.
The best gift that you can grab is through, this is a trick.
It's a trick,
This
you
copy
said.
is
They're doing it on purpose.
This copy is bullying to people with speech impediments, and I am for it.
True Classic is also a great gift to grab. It's a great stocking stuffer or white elephant gift.
You know what
that
else is a
everyone
great
will
stuffer?
love.
A dick that's on the body of a guy wearing True Classic.
So true. The men in your life need this. Do them a
You
favor
can
and upgrade
stuff
their wardrobe.
anything you want as long as you're not wearing a V-neck.
With True Classic, the #1 gift on their wish list. And men, don't wait. You're already late. Okay. Get 25% off at trueclassic.com/Whitney. Free shipping included on purchases over $100. That's 25% off at trueclassic.com/Whitney. Santa won't be the only one slaying thanks to True Classic.
I want to talk to you guys about a magical device that will change your life. No, it's not that sex toy with the sucker thing that's all over social media. That thing is very weird and it will chip your teeth. Be careful. Ooh. I want to talk to you about composting. I've never been able to compost before. It was always just like too complicated or like too much work, or you had to like go like to a place and hang out with people that are like...
Is composting a euphemism?
Well, if you interrupt me again, I will be so grateful because I was
gonna say.
Can I say something? That's why interrupting is so great. I had no idea where I was going, and she rescued me. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yes, and baby.
Yeah, and also talking to the microphone more.
We're sharing. I'm sharing with our new guest.
Dude, this is
Hollywood, baby.
You don't share with other women, you compete with them, okay? This is not how Hollywood works.
Listen.
You know I've never done that before in my life.
So true.
So I want to talk about Lomi. I've heard all about Lomi. Lomi allows you to turn your food scraps into dirt with the push of a button. This is a magic, like some witchcraft stuff, okay? It's a countertop electric composter that turns scraps into dirt in under 4 hours. We have a new member of the team named Katie. Katie used it yesterday, and I've never seen a happier. She was happier than Jennifer Lopez on that Italian vacation.
Yes. I've
What
never been
happened?
happier.
What you?
Yeah. So I had lunch. I had some Greek food. I had some coffee in the morning. Coffee grounds were still there. I was, usually you just throw them away. They get everywhere. Took that, had my lomi. Took my leftovers that I was going to throw away, my Greek salad I was going to toss, threw it all into lomi, pressed a button, and then I walked away, did some email, that came back, and I literally spread soil in your garden for you.
Wild. Yeah. It just turns into dirt magically.
It's so simple, you can use it on like your third day at one of the most overwhelming jobs known to man.
She was trying to bury herself alive.
She was like, I could just put myself to rest in the garden right now.
Making more right now.
It was actually also the crazier part, and I don't even know if this is like really Lomi's angle, but I've had an ant problem for like 6 months because like there's rinds and there's
just like food
everywhere where it's just like I feel like I can't throw it away. I don't want to waste it, and then I kind of like put it in the fridge, and then it never gets eaten, and it's like now you just put it in the Lomi, and it turns into soil where you can bury your enemies with your trash. So we're producing less methane here at the homestead. Instead, I will turn my waste into nutrient-rich dirt that I can feed to my plants. I threw a dinner party, and the food cleanup was a total breeze. All my friends think I'm an eco goddess now. It's no big deal. If you want to start making a positive environmental impact, or just like clean up after dinner and make it easier and not have a bunch of like weird, like drippy bags like near your door, Lomi is perfect for you. Head to Lomi, LOMI.com/Whitney and use the promo code Whitney to get $50 off your Lomi. That's $50 off when you head to LOMI.com/Whitney and use promo code Whitney at checkout. Food waste is, what is it? Gross! Lomi is your solution. With the holidays just around the corner, get your family the dirt they deserve. Joking. Lomi will make the perfect gift for someone on your shopping list. I actually think this is what we should be giving everyone for Christmas.
I am giving this to someone for Christmas, yeah.
Turn your food waste into dirt with the press of a button with Lomi. Use the code Whitney to save $50 at Lomi.com/Whitney. Can I tell you something?
Yeah.
I actually think when we go, that was a joke, trigger warning, we're actually bullying dumb people. People go out of their way to intentionally misunderstand what we're doing in order to justify being offended.
Yeah. But I was going to
Don't pander to them.
I was going to do a bit. I don't know much about podcasting, but when I look straight into the camera, it means I have something to say that's important.
Let's see it.
No, it's over. The moment's gone.
Mansplain the audience.
Moment's
They'll
gone.
love it.
Moment's gone. Moment's gone.
It's also not just people. I'm not such a narcissist that I think someone's going to go to jail for me. It's like some people are really drunk. After the pandemic, people psychologically, I mean, I have at my Dallas show at the Majestic, there was a guy was out for 12 seconds. There was a fight that broke out that was so bad. This guy was out for 12 seconds. I have a video of it. It's like people are just kind of feral right now. And comedians are like, people are just mad at us because you can talk to us. We'll listen. Whereas like politicians, they won't, you know? So it's like we're good people to be mad at because it's probably gratifying because we'll listen, you know?
Plus, we're not as powerful.
Yeah, and we'll internalize it. You know, you can reach us, you know? You can't reach fucking Biden or Kamala or whoever you're fucking mad at, you know? You can get to us and we'll talk about you on a podcast for 2 hours. Yeah. You know, it's worthwhile.
I'm mad at the Dalai Lama.
But so tell me about your dating life.
I find it very difficult
Why?
to connect. What do we eat? Do we have carbohydrates? What do we eat?
No, I'm having a lifesaver.
I find it, hard to connect with people.
I bet.
I find it's hard to have an honest conversation.
But I think that also comedians, we have a very hard time biting our fucking tongues. You know what I mean? And because we have such a deep obsession with justice, we will die on any fucking hill. And I have a really hard time in relationships. Like, I get stuck. Sorry. I get stuck
You just apologize to a microphone.
to myself.
How much fun are we having?
So,
I guess not that much.
A lot. 8 out of 10. Is that what you said? You're an 8 on stage?
I'm an 8. I'm a solid 8. Let me tell you something. When I'm on stage,
But here's the thing.
everybody wants to sleep with me.
I bet.
Everybody, even people that didn't even know they were attracted to a man, become attracted to a man.
Because you're very fucking alpha and it's hot. You're like that on stage. Off stage, not so much.
Right, off stage. So I have to alpha it up off stage. Off stage, I'm like a 6.
But because you talk like this, just don't. You're the shit.
Yeah.
Be delusionally confident. You project onto people.
What do you mean I project onto people?
You project.
Do you know what project means?
Yes.
What does it mean?
You tell me. Mansplain me.
No.
You make assumptions about what people are thinking. You have I'm a piece of shit in the center of the universe syndrome.
Because I've been at restaurants
no
where
one's
there's
talking
where there's
about you at this restaurant.
Yes, they are.
No offense.
Yes, they are.
Why?
People took videos. They posted it. Look at loser from Teen Wolf eating alone. Yeah.
I'd rather you be alone than sitting there with like an 18-year-old fucking actress. That's weird.
I agree.
When a man is like, I would rather eat alone than be with someone that makes me feel alone is hot. You and I are very similar in that we are like a dog with a bone sometimes. And just because it's true doesn't mean it needs to be said. And I think that very few people, I think the reason comedians are so like special and fun to watch is because we obsess over the things nobody really notices until we say it. Do you know what I mean? Of like, I'm gonna fucking doilies. What the fucking point? And then, you know, and everything is funny. It's like, oh, I've never been mad about that. But now that you say it, I understand that it's ridiculous. But we don't turn it off.
Right.
You know? And so most people, I don't think, want to go through their life questioning all the little things that actually kind of give them joy. We ruin things for people. We're like party poopers. We're like this fucking glass. Like I, never really have been mad about the condensation on a Frappuccino, and now I can never. You ruined them.
Yeah, I've ruined it.
So, so that's what we do.
But I also think in Los Angeles, women think because you're a comedian, maybe you're not that successful. I think that when you're in your 20s and you're a comedian, it's exotic, it's sexy. There's the potential that you're going to get your own TV show. You're going to have all these specials. It's going to be huge. So people don't even know if I'm successful. But when I meet someone, I go, I'm a comedian. I say it with pride. They're like, oh, okay.
But why would you want that you're weeding out starfuckers? That's a good thing.
No, because women, I think you want to be with, like, I want to be with a woman that's successful at whatever she does.
Okay.
I don't want somebody who they think. Most comedians and maybe are living with roommates or whatever it is, you know?
True.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Or they go, okay, you're a comedian, but you haven't, how come I don't really know you?
Just say, Google me. Like, do you know what I mean? It's two things. Number one, I think a lot of people pretend they don't know us when they do. And then you have to be in this weird fucking improv scene.
That is weird.
Yeah. Where would I know you from?
Yeah.
Can you just Google me? And if you don't know me, it's fine, but don't make me do this.
Or you're on an elevator, you're talking to all 12 floors, and they get out and they go, I think you're funny, or I love your comedy. Well, why didn't you bring that up before?
Well, because they're nervous, and a lot of them are embarrassed because I think they go like, because actors are such fucking dickheads, they spend their whole life trying to get famous, and then they walk through the world like none of these people are allowed to talk to me, the very people that paid to see my movie and got me famous. So I think a lot of people, when someone's like, I really don't want to bother you. I'm like, bother me, please.
Right.
I didn't work this hard to get known for no one to say,
thank you.
I think you're funny.
Here's the other thing.
This is the only thing keeping me going because if I looked at Twitter, I would quit. These people that come up to me in airports and say, I think you're funny is the only reason I keep doing this.
Here's the other thing. Do it when I'm on a date. Do it when I'm with people. People come up to me all the time when I'm alone.
Well, yeah.
But they don't, when I'm with somebody, they don't want to interrupt. Interrupt.
Here's what
I want that person to know
you're
that
in the
people
right place
know
if you
me.
want someone to interrupt. But also, I think that the one thing I will say about that is as a gal.
Are you having like an access, like a reflex? Because that's
How did you see that? I was burping.
You've had it a few times, but that's a Jewish thing.
It's a gag reflex.
That's a Jewish thing. That's your 49
That's why it's only half.
Jew. Yeah. I don't like when they sneak pictures. I like come up and ask to take a picture.
Well, yeah, just go, hey, do you want to
But
photo?
sometimes they sneak pictures.
Yeah, because they're
like
scared.
that. Don't be scared.
You're intimidating.
I'm very approachable.
No, you're not.
What are you talking about? I love when people come up to me. I love it. After
know,
shows,
but
I love it.
We come off brusque to people. We are scary to people.
Isn't that
I
a
don't
cologne,
agree.
brusque?
White brusque?
Yeah.
I am learning this just now. Like the guy that was rough on me on Twitter, I'm like crying in my bed. I call my Marlo Stern is like, it's, you come off so fucking tough that it doesn't occur to anyone that they could hurt you.
Right, I get that. Okay, so people say that to me. They go, "Oh, here's the other thing. You date women. They go, oh, I'm not going to pump your ego." You're like, "No, pump my ego. Tell me you
It
think
wouldn't
it's
occur to people that comics are insecure. So people are very hypocritical when it comes to comics. They go, all comedians are mentally ill, right? Like all comedians are traumatized, right? And then they're like, fuck comics, they're bullies. It's like,
Right.
you just said that we were mentally ill and sick, and you know that, but now all of a sudden you think I'm this egomaniac who is secure with myself, which isn't, guys.
I just feel like as far as dating, I'm not going to settle. I would never settle. And I think that it's interesting that you get to a certain age and people look down, oh, you haven't been married?
Yeah.
You don't have any kids?
Dude,
they're like, what's wrong with you?
Neil
It's
Brennan
it's
has
like you've been divorced 2 times.
Neil Brennan
You're
has-
the one that has a problem with marriage,
Yeah.
not me.
Yeah. Neil Brennan has this really thing. He's like, you would rather me have gotten married, I think it's like, and my wife like fall off a cliff than never have been married at all. You know what I mean? Like you would rather me have been in a bad marriage than not be married at all.
The other thing is if you're going to succeed in comedy, it's full-time, full focus, it's tunnel vision for 20 years. And then you come out of it and maybe you meet somebody.
Yeah.
Would you date somebody that had been married and has kids?
Of course. I would.
Kids?
I was thinking about this the other day. I would love to date someone who's been married because I think they know the deal. Like they know that it takes work. They know it's hard, you know? There's no like illusion, and they don't want a big wedding probably and whatever.
Nonsense weddings.
Yeah.
Bachelor parties.
But most people don't get to do what we do.
Yeah.
You know? I was like,
What if you had kids?
I've dated guys with kids and I'm very pro that.
Really?
Yeah. Very pro. I'd love to date guys with kids.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so here's the thing
What if
though.
I'm-
We get in our own way in personal relationships because we will die on any fucking hill. So I'm the person who's like, all the person needs to hear is I'm sorry. Their love language is verbal.
Back
Get
to
used
love
to it.
language.
Get used to it.
Back to love language.
And it's helpful. It's really fucking helpful, even though it sounds fucking corny. I thought it was corny first at two, but it's helpful because the way that I give love is not often the way people receive love. And the way that other people give love, I don't really value. Verbal, I don't value at all. Like when someone says I love you, I'm like, what did you do? Like, why are you saying that?
Yeah.
What's happening? Like what? Like you're trying to manipulate me? Like if you love me, I'll know. You don't need to tell me. Like I'm like the guy I was dating was like, you know, I was like, don't say I love you to me. I'll let you know when you love me. Like I'll know.
Way to shut it down.
Well, I don't want to hear it too early because
Why not?
It's
If he feels it, let him say it. Don't stop him. Don't stop the train.
But I don't know.
Do you want to spend the rest of your life with not being able to make coffee?
But
not being able to grind your own beans? Is this what you want, Whitney? Don't shut down the eye. Let him say it.
But what is your definition of love? Let's agree on it, because mine is different than yours.
Why do people have to define everything?
Why do you need to fight with a natural phenomenon called condensation?
Because it's got to end. They've got to be able to make cups that it doesn't drip all over me. Here's the other problem I have with dating, and I think...
I also do this. It's like when someone just needs to hear I'm sorry, I'm like, but I'm not sorry.
Yeah, but, okay, good.
You know what I mean? What I did, the impact might have been different than my intention. I am sorry about that. But if I apologize to you right now and I don't mean it, I'll lose respect for you if you buy it, and we'll both always know that this is... So,
is there anything more condescending than the fake apology?
I'm
sorry you feel that way. I made you feel that way.
I am sorry that I got it wrong. Like I'm sorry. Like I thought I was being helpful to you, and I did the best I could, and I missed.
Yeah.
I'm sorry about that.
Yeah.
But I'm not sorry because I really did try.
But people say, I'm sorry. This is so condescending. I'm sorry I made you feel that way. Like they're empowering themselves.
I'm sorry you took it that way.
Yeah, I'm sorry that I have that
shitty.
power over you.
That's shitty. I am obsessed with apologizing. I do a 10-step every night. On my part, I'm so sorry I said that. I should I'm an apologist.
What?
Yeah, if to keep my side of the street clean. If I did something that was manipulative, something that was superiority complex or self-righteous indignation, or I'm in a 12-step program, Al-Anon and ACA, where you do that. You take responsibility for that. So I will
What's
ACA, Adult Child Alcoholic.
Okay.
So I will apologize for things where people are like, I'm not, what do you mean? I didn't even notice that. And I'm like, you probably never noticed, but I would like to apologize because I know what I was doing and you might not even notice it. But if I did something where my intention was pure
and then it misfired because I'm fucking off,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and I'm bad at this, or I don't understand how you receive love. I'm sorry about the impact, but that wasn't my intention.
Right.
So that's, I think, what fucking comedians can't just take a fucking dick in the mouth sometimes and bite our tongues and just go, I'm sorry.
There's that, perhaps, and where my mind went when you were talking was, I think one thing we're all really good at, but that's going to screw up the continuity.
No, it's not gonna. I'm not gonna move things around. I'm just putting a hoodie on.
Do you want a Girl Scout cookie?
No. Yeah, kind of.
The one thing that...
It's closer to me. Don't.
But I'm the man, and the man always gets the Girl Scout.
Have you ever come close to proposing to someone?
Yeah, absolutely.
What happened? Don't make the noises. Don't make the noise. Don't make the noise. No. Don't make the noise. They'll freak out. Yeah, put it under here.
Wait, I want to.
Okay, yes, but don't eat on the mic.
Okay, so you made the noise.
I know. Well,
Here's what...
don't talk with your food.
What-
No.
what-
Topher Grace came on here and ate a chicken sandwich, and we lost like 10,000 subscribers. We can't eat on podcasts. Yeah, I know. Just finish what you're saying.
Well, let me finish this and then...
Oh my
You
god,
talk.
Thin Mints are so fucking good.
Is
What's
this
your
a sponsor? I can get behind this.
Girl Scouts promo code Whitney? Do you what's your favorite Girl Scout cookie?
This.
Really? Mm-hmm. Wow, red flag.
It's not even a close second. The dog's now eating the Girl Scout cookies.
No.
Okay. I think comedians have trouble because we're really good at communicating. Really good at communicating. And a lot of people, hey, buddy. No, wait, I have to
We're
be.
really good at winning an argument.
Look how much this dog loves me. Hey,
He's the best.
buddy. Do
Good boy.
you want to smell my Girl Scout cookie?
Do you have a dog?
No.
That is wild. That is sick.
Thank you.
Why don't you have a dog?
Because I can barely take care of myself. Why am I
If
have
you
a
had
dog?
a dog, you'd be better at it.
I'm sure I'd be. I'm not doing a good job right now. Whoa! And he got spit all over his face doing that. This.
Yeah,
spit-
it's Christine. It's your loogie. Okay,
Yeah.
finish your story, and then we have to cut.
Okay.
Wrap.
I think that comedians.
Frank, come here, bud. Frankie, come here.
I think comedians.
You can't accept unconditional love. I just saw it happen.
Okay, so there we have it on camera.
Yeah, come here.
I think that. Yeah, don't you think that we're really good at communicating and other people are more close?
I think we over communicate for no reason. I think comedians, we overthink and we overtalk, and most people don't have the bandwidth for it.
Yeah.
And we think we're good communicators, but we are superfluous communicators.
Okay.
You know? And most people don't want the 20-minute breakdown of how my childhood made it so that this is like we overanalyze, and most people, it just, I think, comes off guilty to people. It comes off like we're trying to not be accountable for our behavior because we go like, oh, I texted my ex, whatever, and didn't tell you. Well, okay, so I'm in this program and like, you know, like we have to, because that's what we do as comics is we break things down from every angle, and we have to we're lawyers, you know? I say like we comedians are basically lawyers that we say something that's not true and then we prove it with jokes, you know? It's kind of what we do. And any time we see everything as a debate that needs to be won, and we will not settle if something's either unfair or we don't feel understood. So when someone's like, you're texting your ex, like, okay, but this is about my inner child and this, and then but I just want to make amends and da-da-da. We can't just go like, I'm sorry. If I was in your shoes, I'd be spooked too. It doesn't matter why I did it, really. I can give you a 2-sentence synopsis, and I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Do you think it's possible we're not as interesting as we think we are?
I mean, numbers don't lie. Podcast numbers don't lie. I mean,
No, I'm talking about on dates.
Oh yeah, I think comedians talking on podcasts is interesting to people.
Yeah.
Even when we're fucking boring, people seem to like it. You know, maybe not me, but like, you know, on dates, no, I think we're snobs. I think we're snobs. I think comedians are fucking snobs. Every female comedian I know is like, I want to date with this guy. He's not that funny. I'm like, you're a fucking snob. What imagine being on a date with a female comedian and being like,
Are you
The only thing that has kept us from getting murdered for thousands of years is laughing at men's jokes that aren't funny. You don't get to fucking now be like, So I think that comedians, we have this deep allergy to pretending. And the first couple dates for everyone is a little bit of pretending. And we want to fucking share our trauma. The first 10 minutes, no one needs to be talking about their fucking trauma on their first, second, third date.
Or exes.
Or exes. What are you doing?
Why do people do that?
It's just I think people conflate being interesting with oversharing. We are in an epidemic of oversharing.
But is it possible these women that I go out on dates with who are interested in me, this isn't them trying to push me away,
Ask them
that talk
questions.
about their exes, are they trying to show me that they're wanted or have been wanted in the past? What's the psychology there?
I have never understood that. I believe that anyone that talks negatively about their ex is a red flag.
Or just talks about their past. We don't need to hear about it.
Or that's something for 6 months, 8 months. Okay, here's the deal. Here's what happened. And here's my part in it. This whole, men do it too. Guys do it too. They'll be like, oh, my last ex is crazy. It's like, then why'd you date her for 4 years? The ex before that, fucking stalker. The common denominator seems to be you.
Right.
So what's up? If
Right.
you like crazy women, I'm not the one. If you want a woman fucking calling you a million times, oh, fucking just stalking me, I'm not your guy.
Yeah.
So I think that for me, I just ask as many questions as possible, because I'll be bored by someone else if I don't ask them the right questions.
Right.
You know?
I feel that way too, and I find a lot of people don't ask me interesting questions.
I think if someone's boring, it's your fault. You know what I mean?
No, some people are just boring.
That's true, but there's
Inherently boring.
I'm so interested in people and curious about people. If someone's inherently boring, I'm still sort of like, how did this person get so fucking boring? I gotta know. There's nothing more interesting than someone who's just thinks they're interesting. So I'm like, okay, your parents read to you. I need to know.
But I'll go out
how
on
this happened.
I'll go out on a date and I'll leave knowing everything about her, and she has no idea.
Fine.
If my parents
Then
are still married,
then
she doesn't
don't
know
hang out
if
with
I
her
have
again.
sisters. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't.
Are you mostly dating actresses?
I try not to.
Influencers?
No. I like professionals, doctors, lawyers, real people.
And they don't ask you about yourself?
Some do, some don't. There's a lot of guarded, you get to a certain age, people tend to be guarded. They
I
tend
don't
to have
know
a lot
what
of
people
experiences.
talk about on dates. I can't even imagine.
Are you afraid you'll never find love?
No.
Oh, good.
No.
Good.
But I also don't need love to come only from a man. I think that it's really toxic and unhealthy, this whole thing of I just want to marry my best friend. What? No. Marry a man and have a best friend. You
Right.
can't get all your emotional needs met from your partner. It's psychotic. And I think we put way too much pressure on, you need to be my best friend, you need to be my girlfriend, you need to be my boyfriend, you need to be my mom, you need to be my dad, you need to be my handyman, you need to be all these things.
Well, everybody's saying the same thing. I just want a guy who understands us. I want a who's in touch or whatever.
What are you saying?
I don't know. They're just
Be specific.
People just I don't know what the word. This is like
they blather.
They just,
ramble.
They read one self-help book on dating, and they're regurgitating catchphrases, which is gaslighting, which is red flag, green flag, yellow flag, blue flag, which is love language, which is, I want somebody who's their authentic self. What does that mean?
I don't. I want someone's best self.
That I want the person who can fake it for 30 years.
That's right.
And get in my will.
That's right.
And get the hell out of my life.
If you're going to fall apart, go do it with your girlfriends.
Yeah. Yeah, not on my watch.
That's and you're taking my other major insight on all this is do not take relationship advice from single people.
Really? Mm-hmm. I give great marriage advice.
Really?
Yeah. Get out. It doesn't work.
But wait, I just think
50% of marriages end in divorce. 50%.
because I think people get married. It takes 2 years to even know someone's character.
40% murder. So what? 10%.
40% of marriages end in murder.
Yes. Married people die every day from very suspicious things. Very.
Like what?
Oh, walking backwards off a cliff, having their picture taken. Married people drown in 3 inches of water in their bathtubs. Got news for you. I fill my bathtub all the way up and I live. Gatorade mixed with engine coolant. I have Gatorade at home. When I get home, still going to be Gatorade.
All the
Still gonna be gator. You ever heard of a single person? You ever seen the Dateline where the single person falls down a flight of stairs and dies? No. Single people know how to walk down a flight of stairs.
Oh my God, it's just too real. It is like I know a lot of men and women in like their 40s that are married just like having like aneurysms and blood clots, and it is a little bit fishy.
Yeah.
Like her husband, perfectly healthy, died on a treadmill. It's like
Yeah.
no. See, like who's healthy as a horse, like it's always like that.
A lot of choking.
A lot of dying, scuba diving.
Yeah, the scuba diving was
snorkeling.
fun. When they come up and the gear's missing and stuff.
I would never.
How do I lost sight? I turned around.
I would never. A lot of jet ski accidents.
Yeah.
I would never go on a boat with a man who loved me.
I agree.
I would never do it.
Yeah, scuba diving is not a couple's outing.
No.
You do it alone. You do it with the guys.
And you
do it
survive.
you do it with a couple of guys that know how to do it. You know, you don't just go there and yeah.
It is true. You die in fires because you go back in to get your wife.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That is so true.
They choke.
Aren't most of your friends getting divorced or no?
Yeah, I have friends that are miserably married, some in open relationships. A lot of them
what's
hate
your take
their,
on that?
They hate their kids. I'm against it. It doesn't work. You're either in it or you're not in it. That's why I'm not like a cheater. I'm just I'm all in.
You've never cheated.
I probably did when I was younger, like
Yeah.
college, but no, I don't.
Yeah.
I love monogamy. I love having one I know this makes me sound like a wuss.
No, it
I
doesn't.
like-
It makes you sound like you murderer.
yeah, I just exactly same
When
thing.
a man wants to be monogamous, it's so funny because when a man is like, I'm into monogamy, I'm like, why? Like that's suspicious.
Why?
And then
Because
when,
then you don't have to. Yeah, look. I'm like when I see a woman and I think she's gorgeous, and then I see
who's the most beautiful actress to you?
I see a
or
wedding.
most beautiful famous person?
I see a wedding ring. I think, thank God, I don't have to hit on her. Thank God, she's off the books.
That's so weird because I feel like when I was engaged and had a ring on, I was flirted with more than I'd ever been flirted with.
Yeah, those guys are pigs. That's not me.
Because they knew they didn't have to commit to me. Probably.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's married. Perfect person to
Or
fuck.
if you reject them, well, you reject them because you're married.
I know some guys that are into married women, and it's kind of that reason. I think there's no pressure
I have a lot of friends that hate their kids.
because they're doing too much parenting. Kids aren't meant to be hung out with this much.
It's just too much.
They're meant to be in factories making toys.
Toys in China once again.
Yes. So okay. Last thing, and I know we have to go, and we'll do this again. We'll do round two.
Yeah.
I just don't want to be so long that it's dating. What are red flags for you in a person? Because I feel like you're missing some red flags, and this is why
good.
This is why people talk about red flags.
Yeah.
Because people miss them.
But
you didn't
I
get to
hate-
you
I-
missed. If you went on a date with someone that didn't ask you any questions about yourself, you missed a bunch of red flags.
Well, I mean, I like to hop into the date right away. I like to, get right
You're
into the
not.
conversation.
A lot of guys like to text for 4 months before you actually even meet.
These are the wrong guys. You
Agreed.
need a guy like me. Knows how to make coffee, knows when an outlet isn't working, sits through the stupid tour, says a few things about, oh, we just lost the view, whatever.
Yeah,
I'm
but
fun. You want to laugh?
have you dated a comic?
One time.
Here's what I'll say, by the way. Things that comics say to comics that we make each other laugh, sometimes to non-comics, is mean. They think it's mean
Yes.
and complaining.
Yes.
So we're bombing because we're doing jokes out of context.
I had a woman say to me the other day, she goes, "You're judging me." I said, "Yeah, I am. I am."
That's what dating is.
I go, "Yeah, I'm judging you."
You're judging me too.
Yeah.
That's
right.
what we do here.
That's all we do. We look around with judging people.
All
We're
we
going,
do.
that guy's, he's wearing the wrong shoes
Well, I
with the
just
wrong
have
belt.
we're all judging people. Comedians are just
Better at it.
crazy enough to say it out loud.
Yeah.
That's what we do.
Yeah.
But wait. So
I like being alone too much. Maybe it's
I
that.
like being
Yeah.
alone. I need a lot of. We're very good at being alone.
Yeah. Oh,
But
God,
and a
we
lot
do.
of people interpret that as a rejection. You need someone. There can't be. It can't be incongruous how much someone can give and how much someone needs.
Also, they get upset if I work too much. I love to work. Like even being at the computer writing, I'm getting interrupted. Like I feel like there's,
You need to date someone with a job
yeah, I agree.
who's gone
Yeah.
that respects what you do.
Yeah.
Why? What? Where? Are you, I just. This is.
It's not in LA.
That's not true.
Okay.
Dallas is LA now.
Austin
is?
is more LA than LA. This whole thing that LA is fucking blondes with big tits and they're shallow. Those people are everywhere now. LA is like, I feel like most people I know in LA are like,
I don't know. You mean
they're like, I'm not on Instagram anymore. I just don't. I think every city is what you make of it, and you can build a case to say the city sucks and it's shallow, but it's just like the people that we want to hang out with, they're just not out at bars. They're probably at home.
Yeah.
You know, like it's just they're to me.
But by the way, there's enough of them to be in LA and in Austin and Boston and
Yeah.
New York.
Yeah.
They're everywhere. But everybody is just talking about themselves. Nobody is curious and asking questions.
Okay.
That's the problem.
Yeah, but I feel like I was at this the Bros premiere, and that movie it's very fun. It's fucking hilarious.
Huh, people are like going after it on Twitter and stuff, aren't they?
Well, because I think it was like marketed as you have to come watch this. It's a historical event, and I don't think people like to be forced into doing something. It was marketed as if it wasn't a fucking hilarious movie. Like, why are you I think the best way to market a movie now is just let it come out and let Twitter do the work. It's like that's what happened with Borat. Borat was just like, this is the funniest movie. Like, I think we're back to word of mouth. I think people are billboards and ads. We're kind of like, why are you pushing this so hard? This movie can't be good. You know, we're back to like your funniest friend going, dude, I just saw that movie. It's fucking hilarious. And then you'll go see it. You know, we don't trust ads anymore, I think. The movie's hilarious. What am I saying? Oh, and then there was this like cute guy there that we kind of like both got lost to find parking, and we're kind of walking to parking, and it was kind of like cute, and we had this like little like kind of thing, and then I was like, that was weird, and then I was like, oh no, I can't date this person because he goes to movie premieres.
Right.
You know what I mean? The place I met him is the red flag.
Yeah, but not necessarily.
Disagree.
Did you? Why?
Because it's just if someone.
Maybe you have commonalities. Did you get his number?
I don't want to date anyone that has anything in common with me.
Did you get his number?
No. He was like, and then he was, of course, he was like an agent or something. And I was like,
Right.
if I meet someone at a bar at 2 a.m, you're dating the
Do you
guy.
have this trouble too?
You're dating the guy that stays at the bar till 2 a.m. You're not going to change that guy.
Do you have this problem too? I can't tell if women are flirting with me because they know me from something,
that's hard.
or they're really interested. So a lot of the times, like I used to be the shyest guy. Like I would never ask a woman for a number.
You shouldn't care. Guys don't flirt with me. They come up to me and they're mean to me. They're like, "Hey, comedian, huh?" Like that. I just attract. Like people just want to like put me in my place, and it just ends up getting mean.
Yeah. I'm sorry you're going through
No,
that.
it's okay. It's fine. Yeah. But I don't think you need to worry about why someone likes you.
No, because then I put the mental effort in. Like they'll contact me on Instagram after a show. I'll put in all this.
Everyone has that problem.
And then it turns out they're
Instagram.
seeing somebody already.
It's not even famous people. It's like doctors, lawyers. Like I don't know why this
Really?
person, yeah, because
doctors.
Well, I'm saying now you can reach out to someone and you know their job before you meet
But they're
them.
very flirty. Why are they flirty if they're in a relationship? I want to contact the other person and go, hey, this is what's going on behind your back.
Yeah, because they might be getting
Flirting used to have integrity.
No, it didn't.
Yes, it did.
No,
you
it
only
didn't.
flirted if you were available and you liked the person.
Where was this?
This was in the 20s.
In Massachusetts.
In the 1920s.
Salem, up in Salem, where you went to school.
Yeah.
Where you went to the schoolhouse.
I went to the Louisa May Alcott.
The Loogie May Alcott.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just think some people are crazy and some people aren't. And it's always a needle in a needle stack. That's most people are done.
What?
If you wanted to.
A needle in the needle stack?
Is a needle in a needle stack.
No. No. Please tell me you're being funny.
Trying to find a needle in a needle stack.
No.
Finding
A needle in a haystack.
I know, but it'd be even harder to find a specific needle in a needle stack.
No, it wouldn't, because you just go, oh, look at all these needles.
No,
I'll just grab this one.
No, you're looking for a specific one.
Why are you so obsessed with that one needle? You have all these other needles. This is what's wrong. This is why you're single, Whitney. You've got all these needles, and you're going through the prickly needle stack trying to find the right needle. Just take any needle. Take
That's
any
settling.
needle,
You're
because all the needles are going to hurt you just as much. They're just as pointy and
Not my needles. My
danger-
needles are full of vitamin IVs and peptides.
Yeah.
Needles don't. Every needle I use fucking benefits me. That's really interesting. I'm fascinated by this. I think we have a similar thing, but I think imagine the opposite. What if everyone was cool?
Be great.
Be exhausting. You're like, I'm gonna date everyone. So people have to. We need contrast. And
Yeah.
you're not going to appreciate what you have if most people aren't done. Most people aren't a match. You know?
Mm-hmm.
If you went to a bar and everyone was awesome, you'd be like, I'm going to cheat on all of you with all of you. It would
Right.
just be exhausting. You know? So I think it's good that most people don't vibe with us because then all you would do is fall in love with everyone you met. It'd be exhausting.
Yeah.
When I'm right, I'm right.
You're always right.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, you are.
My thing is I'm always eventually right. Just let me fit. Just let me get there. In 6 months, you're gonna go. That was a good point. Where are you touring soon?
No.
What are we promoting?
Nothing. Just
Your podcast.
My podcast
Go
and my
watch. Yeah, just at least call it like trailer trash or something.
no, it's called What's Wrong with ORNY Adams. That's what the graphic says.
Okay.
And
Today we learned what is.
yeah, and my special More Than Loud on
Great.
YouTube.
Awesome.
I
More than love.
encourage because I'm,
ORNY is truly, when I say, I mean, one of the best comedians performing today. I feel like people are talking about you now the way they talked about Burr 12 years ago.
so I have 12 more years of this.
Well, now that you have the internet, we'll speed it up.
And that's a huge compliment.
I just
Thank you.
gave you the biggest compliment I think I've ever given a comedian, and you did that.
Let's do it again. Do it again. No, because my head got caught up that I did do this for 12 more years. But do it again. I'll take 2.
I'm done complimenting you.
No, but please, will you call me hot?
No, I have to go. It's 2:45. I have to film some other stuff, and then I have to go down to a doctor who's going to break up the scar tissue in my chest.
Is this how your podcast ends? You yell at the guest? First you elevate them and...
I've been yelling at you this whole time. I end these very awkwardly.
I thank you for that compliment. I thank you for...
welcome.
No, I really do. I appreciate it.
I know.
And it's hard for me to listen.
I know.
I've been...
I wouldn't be able to receive that compliment.
Yeah. And
I'm just telling the fans, so they go see More Than Loud on YouTube.
thank you.
People want to find good comedians. They want to see you. They just need to know about you and find you.
And just live, it's so different. It's such a different vibe. It's so cool going to a live, seeing it live, what we do versus YouTube.
Yeah. But a lot of people can't afford it or don't know about it, because the algorithm. Fucking Grace Jones was at the Hollywood Bowl. Did you know that?
Recently.
Yes.
I didn't know.
A week ago, Grace fucking Jones was at the Hollywood Bowl. I had no idea. How did that not get to me? You have to literally, to watch someone's Netflix special, you have to type in their entire name. You cannot accidentally hear that someone's in town that you like. When I go to fucking do shows, I do 5 shows in Houston, 8,000 seats. I go to the airport to leave, and someone's like, Whitney Cummings, what are you doing here? And I'm like, how did you not hear? You recognized me with no makeup in an airport?
Right.
You know me that well and didn't know I was performing a mile from your house. And you follow me on, I don't know. It's a fucking Easter egg hunt. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, there's too much going on.
I want to go see my heroes, and I don't know. I have to follow the venue, I guess. I have to follow the Hollywood Bowl and get their newsletter.
Right. Or you'll promote it. We'll take Twitter, right?
Yeah.
You go, I'm in Houston next week. And then the week after you leave Houston, people post, when are you going to be in Houston?
Always.
But you follow me on Twitter.
Every
How did you
time.
miss the 5 required posts that the
every
venue
time.
made me do?
And that's what you get for being fans of ours. You will pay.
At least you know, and I'm being serious, when you go back to Houston, you've got at least 1 ticket sold already.
I love you guys. ORNY Adams. Don't ride elephants. Goodbye.